Okie dokie, I believe we are all the way live. Hello and welcome to my graveyard. I am your host of the evening, the Cemetery Man from Salem, Mass. Always taking names and kicking candy ass. Live in movie color here with you on Grande's Graveyard. Welcome to the first volume of the Horror Roundtable. We've got an all-star panel for you tonight. Super cool guests. We'll go all the way. Well, I guess we can introduce this guy below me first and go around and around.
Oh, wait.
The legendary AJ Citro. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, guys? Nice to see you. Thanks for having me on again, Grande.
Dude, always more than welcome on the graveyard. Love the Cannibal Holocaust hat, and I'm really excited to have you on tonight. I'm sure you're going to have some awesome topics for us. And then next to him, the Prime Minister of Sinister. Yes, the one, the only, the legendary Don Nice. What's going on, brother Don?
What's up? What's up? Good to be with you guys, man. Excited to talk tonight. Some good topics, I'm sure. Hopefully.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, no, I'm happy you could make it on the show tonight too. I know we were talking before we just went live on how early you guys have to get up, so I'm very pleased that you both can make it. And then
only for you.
Well, see, that warms my heart, and I appreciate that. But to my immediate side, he is from Drink Beer and Watch Horror. He's also Chef Frankenhammered, which I didn't know until a few minutes ago. He is the one and only Jeff from Drink Beer and Watch Horror. What's going on, brother Jeff?
Hi, everyone. How are you? I'm drinking beer.
Really?
No, I'm actually drinking Boulevard Tiki Slam.
Boulevard Tiki Slam. Very nice.
Pretty tasty.
Yeah, so Jeff, this is your first time on the show. Please tell some of the listeners, followers, and stuff what Drink Beer and Watch Horror, the Instagram page, is all about.
All right. A little bit about Drink Beer and Watch Horror. So Drink Beer and Watch Horror came out of COVID. Straight up. Like, my wife and I and kids, we moved up to Louisville in March of last year, right at the beginning of March. And I was working for a larger taco company here as their commissary chef. And I was let go within 2 weeks because of COVID after moving up here. So a couple days after I was let go, we were just hanging out. My wife and I were watching whatever shows we were watching on Netflix or Hulu, whatever. She just looked at me, she goes, "What do you like to do? Like, what is your passion?" And I just looked at her, I go, "Drink beer and watch movies." And she goes, "Well, that's it. That's what we're going to do." And I'm like, perfect. So, and it kind of grew from there into Shoot the Shit, where I haven't done much with that lately, but I got to talk to some really cool fucking people, like Andre Gower, fucking David Howard Thornton, fucking Art the Clown, like, just interesting people. And my little shtick on that is I always like to drink the same beer as them. And I always got them, because we do trivia too. I always got them to sign like a DVD or something like that to give away at trivia. But for my personal collection, I got them to sign the beer can that they were drinking that day when we did the thing. So I've got a bunch in there that are, especially ones that I kind of lost. I lost Justin Shankarow from fucking Erie, Indiana, and Jason Marsden from Erie, Indiana as well. During the whole, when I caught COVID, I was stupid enough to use Skype, and I had a 30-day fucking window, and when I caught COVID, I kind of put it on the back burner and just lost all that shit, and I was like, fuck. So, but whatever. I also got to interview the fucking amazing Drew Marvick. If you have not seen or heard of Drew Marvick,
Pool Party Massacre, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Out in Vegas. He is my spirit animal. He doesn't drink anymore, but just the shit he comes up with, and just he's hilarious. He's a great director, actor, producer, all the fucking above. He's such a great guy.
John, I don't know if you remember.
Beer and watch horror. I like craft beer. I don't get me wrong. I like drinking shitty beer too. I like PBR and Schaefer and Old Milwaukee and all that garbage. But I also like drinking like really nice craft beer. So I like intermingling that aspect. And at the beginning of the year, I kind of started out doing a movie pairing and beer pairing. Then working in a kitchen and being a restaurant person kind of got in the way and took over, and that's why Drink Beer kind of died down a little bit. But we're going to be ramping up in September and October. And we've been trying to figure out which direction we wanted to do. We've actually had a couple live events we did, as well as merch tables and stuff like that at horror cons. I'm pretty excited about that. And a food truck, Fright Bites, hopefully coming out next year.
Oh man,
we're hoping to
what
have
a
the truck
name.
by November. October is going to be a very prosperous money-making month for us. So we're going to get a big ass box truck. We want to play like horror movies on one side, and we'll have the order window on the other side, and people can fucking eat and watch horror movies in any location around town. And we want to go around to different cons too. Like all we have to do is get a vending license for different states. We can come up to Chicago, go to Ohio, and anywhere, as long as the truck is fucking sound in mind, it can go. So
I like when she asked you what you want to do. That you didn't go with your first thought. Instead of drink beer and watch horror, is like check out boobs and watch horror. So you didn't go though. I handed to you.
Boobs,
I'm
blood,
down
and
with that,
mayhem.
though. You know that. So
Very good. Yeah,
Absolutely. And Jeff, congrats on your 2-year anniversary. I know you just passed for Drink Beer and Watch Horror. I know that was back in, was that like 2 months ago?
Huh?
The anniversary of Drink Beer and Watch Horror?
Oh yeah,
wasn't
we had our 1 year anniversary back in June.
Okay.
Realistically, like I'm pretty excited about that, just because I don't know if you guys have noticed, like there's a lot of fucking accounts that just during COVID popped up and were like, oh, we fucking love horror, and posted shit every day. Then everyone back to work, and we're like, dead. Like, and then it just fills up your shit on Instagram, especially. Instagram's been our number one like platform. Like Facebook kind of died in the water when we first started, but Instagram has been phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Constantly fucking going through stuff and just finding these people that haven't posted in a year. It sucks. Like, you love horror, just keep on going with it. Like, even if it's just like dumbass memes or something like that, or just you going to a fucking movie, keep on going. Put out content.
It's not easy, man. I know there's so many people that they'll start and it's just like, at first it sounds all great. It's not easy to continuously. That's why, like, when I started this, I was like, there's no way I'll be able to do this every single week. But so far, I've liked doing it. I like to shake it up. I like to, and that's what keeps things interesting. It's fun to have guests on, and it's fun to do fan commentaries. And I mean, if it was just movies talking reviews every week, it would become monotonous after a while. But I do think it's just like, it's all about shaking it up, and also interacting with some of the people on here. In the chat has been a lot of fun. We have some people in the chat right now. We got Aiden Vavra in the house. Aiden, what's up, good brother? Happy Thursday. King Nee Gore's in the house. Also, he was asking you, Jeff, where Fright Bites is going to be located in Louisville.
We're going to be everywhere right now. Actually, honestly, we're doing a pop-up on October 18th. We're figuring out prices right now. It's going to be at Red Top. It's going to be a Monday. I'm trying to work with a brewery here to do a beer for us and do a collab and just do like a couple keg, like in quad or triple black IPA, because I fucking love black IPAs, but everyone in the beer community fucking hates it.
I like it.
I love it, and I want to find one of the breweries around here, local breweries, to do it. You already saw the case at Red Top of all the root beer that we have.
Dude, and I was like mesmerized when you sent me that picture. By the way, Ben Grimm is also in the house, and the Soulless Trenchcoat is chilling like a villain in here. So what's going on, Trenchy? Red Top Bet, you'll probably see me there. Okay, Corey is definitely down to
tell him to follow us on Instagram. We'll have our flyer up for the pop-up coming up, and we're going to be doing other stuff at other restaurants around town that allow us to do it. So,
hey John, that picture you sent me of us four, it's kind of odd that Ben Grimm is here.
Dude,
that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. I knew he'd be here.
See, I knew AJ. He always does these fun things with like my face. Like he'll put my face next to Britney Spears and shit. Like, and I was like, if we're doing a round table, I've got to ask him to put our faces on, like, iconics of the Four Horsemen, the Fantastic Four. And he also did the Untouchables, which is initially that was the thumbnail. I love both of them. I mean, all of them were really, really good. So thanks, AJ, for that.
That was awesome.
I was like, because when I initially thought, I was like, I got to hit AJ up right now for these awesome, and you knocked it out of the park. I was really, really happy with it.
Classic.
But again, I'm happy you guys could all come on tonight. And basically, to everybody who's watching, what we'll be doing is this is a horror roundtable discussion. If you're not familiar with the horror roundtable format, this is volume 1 on this show. I've never done one on this show. But basically, we each pick 2 topics, and we could go longer. I mean, it depends. I know you guys get up early in the morning, so no pressure on that. But we did pick topics, and we're going to go around in a roundtable discussion and discuss some of the topics that we've all brought up. And I figure since I got 3 guests on, one of you guys can be the lucky person to go first. Does anybody want to step forward and be the first topic of the roundtable?
Go ahead, AJ.
Citro?
He said he had some extra questions.
Well, let me see here. Boy.
Let me see.
I don't want to get too heavy right away, but
we can start with something fun.
Is Terminator a horror movie? I'm just kidding.
Well, let me see. Here's one of the ones. Do you think there is a more of a advantage or disadvantage being a horror collector now than back in the day? Who has the advantage?
Oh, fuck. I can answer this because immensely. So, it's a disadvantage now. I at least to me, I used to have a fucking epic collection. In my previous life, I was married and was divorced and sold fucking everything except for the posters. Because I fucking love posters. But it sucks. And trying to get stuff, like, I didn't mind spending $40 from fucking and buying like a bulk DVD box from Japan or Thailand or something like that to get all the guinea pig films and fucking all like the old Japanese horror movies and that are all fucking gory and shit like that. But now it's like you're spending $40 on one DVD, and I was like, it's hard, especially now. I mean, like, at least on my end, I used to love eBay. eBay was my fucking thing. Like, that's where I found Cannibal Holocaust for the first time, and I got a fucking Region C fucking or Region B DVD copy. And I had to buy a fucking region free DVD player on eBay and shit like that. And I used to have fucking such a fucking man, but it's harder now. At least to me, it's harder. And there's way cooler shit, and it's way more expensive. Like, you go to Target now, just fucking go to Target, like, and you walk up and you're like, holy shit, there's some kind of fucking weird Evil Dead fucking toy there, and you're just like, it's $45, and I'm like,
right,
I want to buy it, but oh shit. I got adult stuff to buy now. Fuck.
You got food to buy for the kids.
At least that's on my end.
No, I'm in total agreement, man. You know, I mean, I've been at this a long time, and like you, I remember, Anchor Bay, for DVDs, in the 90s, man. I mean, I could go to, I don't know if you guys had a media play, but we had media play, which was movies and music and books and magazines and shit. So, I mean, it was simple. I mean, they could get pretty expensive. I was probably in my early 20s back then. So, I was like you, I had a family and stuff, and, paying $30 for a DVD or 10 set or something like that was a bit much. But now you got companies like Scream Factory and, all these boutique companies, Arrows and Vinegar Syndrome. But the problem is that I don't know if you guys have noticed with the Scream Factories, they are in print for maybe 2 years, and they're starting to throw stuff out of print. I mean, they have old stuff that they keep around for whatever reason, but man, it goes in and out. I mean, I want to collect the steel books, and I waited too long, and bam, they're out of print, and they're $75, $80 a piece the day they go out of print. So, I mean, I have quite a few of them, but I mean, the problem is if you're not on top of it, man, you could spend a fortune on this stuff. So I'm kind of with you. I don't mind spending money, like you said, on posters and things like that, but But these DVDs I say DVDs. That's how old I am. Blu-rays and shit. And now they're coming out with the 4Ks and all that. It's just too much, man. There's just too much going on.
Yeah, I don't like. My thing is with my generation, because I'm a little bit younger than all of you guys. Like, we never really had a want for a movie. Like, we never had to like hunt down, like you're saying, like Region C of Cannibal Holocaust, shit like that. Like, growing up, Grindhouse releasing it already, and like you were saying with NECA figures and shit like that. Like, last night I was at this place and I saw a fucking Freddy Krueger figure and it was sick. It was Elm Street 2. It was The Flame. It was The Pool Massacre. Fucking $40. I'm like, bro, like, I would like this, but man, like, how much? What do I have to do? Like, break my bank?
Right.
It's just, I don't know. Like, I definitely, and part of me too, like, you guys grew up more with like horror magazines. Like, Fangoria was booming. Like, I want to collect Fangoria from that time. I've got to buy it from some fucking schmuck on eBay, and he's going to overcharge me. And
Big time.
Day of the Dead's on the cover. I'm going to charge you, however much money. And I'm just like, shit, man. Like, I would like this, but it's just, it becomes to the point where you're like, when does this become too expensive to have? Like, there are certain things where if I want them, and I won't hesitate. But there's,
you mean like a Dawn of the Dead poster?
Oh yeah, I've always wanted that one sheet. That one sheet goes for like $1,500 to $2,000, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I can do that, but then I have to starve.
Mom won't let that happen. Stop it.
Oh shit, yeah, no, that's true. But yeah, no, I don't know. Personally, it's just, I don't know, man.
That's how I feel about the whole thing. That's how I feel.
How do you feel?
Like when I was a kid. Going back even further, we could fucking rent movies, Dollar Tuesdays, get 3 awesome horror movies and for $3, and shit like that. And then you get a little older, maybe you're making like $60 a week at Wendy's or something. You can buy like Video Treasures, Day of the Dead, or Video Treasures, shit like that. And then you move up, and the Laserdisc came out, and those were fucking ridiculous. I had a Laserdisc. I still have some Laserdisc and shit like that, but I definitely think it was easier back then, because I'm trying to think. I put myself as like if I was 15 right now, and like really getting into like buying my own shit and like renting. I couldn't afford the fucking $40 Arrow release and the steel books and the 4Ks and all that shit. I had a very minuscule budget when I was between the ages of 15 and fucking 30. So I mean, yeah, I definitely think it's a lot. But then I brought this up with my friends that I talked to. Now you got streaming, so $5 a month, you get Shudder.
Yep.
And then you stream everything, but it's just it's not the same. Like, I think me and Grande talked about like the old days, or my old days. You go to a convention and pick up like some tape of a tape of a tape of a tape of a tape of like the Uncut Intruder or what do you call it, the work print of Army of Darkness and shit like that for like $20-$25.
Right. And
that was like, oh man, this is great, and maybe every once in a while they'll throw a trailer at the end of it, but like, holy shit, there's a trailer on it too,
Right.
But it's a lot different now, but I don't know. But someone brought up that, like I said, the streaming. I don't know if I would. I guess you just have to stream more. You couldn't buy more.
Yeah. I think. Have you guys been into a Best Buy lately?
Yeah, it's sad,
dude. They have one row of movies, man. I remember when that was. You like I said, you walk into a place called Media Play, man, and you were just like, And then I remember. I don't know how old you are, guys, but I remember in Fangoria, people. There were ads in the back, and people would trade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And things like that. And I was just a kid back then, so I didn't really do it. But man, like you said, a copy of a copy of a copy. You go to a convention and you pick up the super print of Halloween 1 and 2 together. You know what I mean? And shit like that.
Yeah.
I dig that shit. But I think these kids, man. I got 3 boys, and one of them's John's age, and one of them's 20, and the other one's 17. Every time I buy a Blu-ray or a 4K, they're like, What are you doing? You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I think the streaming is killing it. I'm sure there's plenty of us out there, man, but I don't know how much longer we're going to be around. You know what I mean? I think they're going to shove it all out. You know what I mean?
I think physical media will definitely die. Like, I don't know if I'll see it die, but I think like the generation after me, they don't buy movies like we buy movies. And like, I don't know, I like having the physical copy. I know like people are like, bro, why would you buy the fucking Lindsay set when you could fucking watch them all in Tubi? I'm like, I get it, but I don't know. It's cool. It's the packaging. It's the anticipation of the fucking arrival. It's, you know, sitting down to have actual movie night. Like, I don't know. There's just something about it that I like a little bit more personally.
Shit is really nice now. I mean, you get the trailer commentaries, behind the scenes, extra shit, soundtracks, posters, lobby cards, 4K, but you know, it is definitely worth it if you're into it, for sure. They do have an uncut. Remember, like, shit wasn't uncut back in the day, you know?
Right.
Like, you had to just fantasy, or maybe once in a while Fangoria or Gorzone would print like, oh, here's all the scenes that are cut out. Oh, all right. Well, I'll see them in 30 years on Blu-ray, I guess.
Right. Well, and then back then, if they did put it out, it was separate from the movie. Like, I had to watch the whole movie and then go watch 10 minutes of cut scenes that didn't make any sense because they weren't in the movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
But now they'll actually throw that shit in there, which is kind of nice. I'm like you. I got a story for you. I bought the movie Explorers from Shout Factory the other day, and I put it up on the big screen in my living room, you know, and I'm watching it, and my son comes out of his room and he's like, what are you watching? I'm like, oh, Explorers. It's from 1985. He didn't even say nothing. He just turned around and went back in his room. Like 3 hours later, he comes back out. He says, what are you watching now? I said, I'm watching the movie Explorers with the commentary. And he just couldn't comprehend why I would want to do something like that. You know what I mean? I think we're a rare breed anymore, man. I really do. You know, we're like the old wise shaman of the tribe. You know what I mean?
But it's sad though. Like, it really is sad. Like, I love it. I can't get enough of it, man. Like, I would love to have every NECA figure and shit. It's just like, but I also have to pay bills. I also have to pay car insurance. I also like the government every fucking week without fail. They send these little gimmicks in the mail called bills. And
right.
You know, like, trust me, I'd love to own every fucking Criterion. Oh, Spine number 1 through 1020. Like, yeah, I would, but I mean, it's just not realistic. I mean, no matter how many fucking sales they have, you know, it's just not, you know. But I do believe in like spoiling myself when I do really want something. If I really, really want it, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, it's worth the money. If I consider it close to priceless, I pull the trigger every time. But I don't know. Like, I definitely think it is harder to collect now than it was back then, because like, I don't know do you guys remember what Fangoria cost? Like, when it initially was being pressed?
Oh man, I'm almost positive I paid around $2 for it, and that was in the 80s. So, and it started in the late 70s. So,
you know, what's an issue cost?
Oh, actually, they're $20 now per, and they only put out like 4 of them a year. I'm like, screw that. You know, I mean, honestly. I mean, I don't know how old you guys are. Like I said, I'm almost 50, and I'm to the point now where I could pay $25, or $20 for. I ain't doing it. I'm like, screw that. You know what I mean? When I got Horror Hound out here, you know, that only charges me $6. You know what I mean, or $7. So I'm like, you know, they kind of piss me off. I don't know.
I subscribe.
I got a bad attitude.
I subscribed to the new Fangoria when it came out, just for like old time's sake, and it's just not.
Not the same.
Stuff for the most part.
I did too. I was so gung ho about it. I was like, oh man. I was like, and then I was just like, wait a minute. Like, this isn't what it used to be, and it never will be. It's just, that's a product of the 80s.
Yeah, didn't some third party buy that?
I think so. It wasn't long.
So you know, obviously Tim Pone's not involved, and you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes a difference too, I think.
I met him. He's a quirky guy, man.
Yeah.
He's a fucking quirky ass guy. I met him at a sleepaway camp screening in the city. I was like, fucking Tony Tim Pone. I was like, what's up?
That's pretty cool.
And he didn't want anything. He didn't want to talk to me at all. I was just like,
really?
Into like a 5-minute conversation. I was like, dude, fucking double T. What's up, brother?
That sucks. That's like a Alexis, what's her name? From Mad Men.
Fucking Galen Ross. Yeah. No,
fuck that bitch.
About Madman. No.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. Yo, brother Jeff, you muted yourself, brother. Can unmute yourself?
Oh fuck.
Oh, I accidentally fucking muted him. Hold on.
You muted me. I
tried to unmute you. It said you were muted, and I've been trying for 10 minutes to unmute you. I'm like, what?
You've been talking the last 10 minutes. You didn't hear any of it?
Yeah, right.
I had to move, man.
He was
Like I
lip
said,
syncing.
I got two kids screaming inside, so I figured like that fucking our AC unit's right over there, so I moved to the front. So now you get to hear these fucking giant ass cicadas that are in my yard. So
Dude, I hear them.
Oh yeah.
they're fucking everywhere. My kid, I wish I could fucking. Those jars up there are full of fucking cicada mulch, and they're only about that big. Every day we go for our walk around the neighborhood, and my kid collects them. He's gonna make some fucking robot with them. He saw on TikTok, so. And I'm like,
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Actually, I had something that kind of goes along with what AJ was saying. Why in the world has there not been a super special edition of these movies? Anybody got any idea? Why would New Line not want to make some fucking money?
From what I
thought they were going to.
understand,
I thought Shout Factory got or Scream Factory got it.
Did it? Oh, I haven't heard.
Like next year for it.
Really?
Scream Factory
Yeah.
apparently is in the works. What happened was there was
Wow, I didn't hear that.
So some disgruntled worker at fucking Shout Factory got fired, and like the next day was like, "Fuck you people," and posted like the cover art for the 4Ks. And then Shout Factory claimed that it was a hoax and all that. I don't think it's a hoax at all. Maybe the cover art is a hoax. Maybe that's not the official cover art, which I hope it's not because it's shitty from what I've seen.
Wait, when did this happen?
Just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I think I did see that, but they called bullshit. But maybe it wasn't.
I think the Elm. I think
didn't even know that.
they own Elm Street. I just don't think that cover art's going to be the cover art. But I think they're going to come out with it. I think they're going to do a 4K box set.
Shit, I know the Halloween stuff's starting to come out now.
Yeah, no box set there yet.
1 through 5 on 4K.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
you know what?
To me, it's like, why don't you just do a box set and then now you're going to try to get double dip? Like, it's just, how many double dips do you want me to fucking do? Like, is anybody going to really double dip on Halloween 5? Like, is anybody going to?
Right. Well, when is the 4K of the Friday the 13th movies coming? It's got to happen, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, I'm a mark for all this shit, and I fucking buy it all like an idiot. But it's like, it's like as I'm hitting buy, the purchase button, I'm going, what the fuck am I doing here? You know what I'm saying? But I do it anyway. Like that's why they keep doing it, because we keep buying it, I guess. Little disgusted with myself.
My Amazon fucking shopping cart is full of shit that like all the stuff I used to own. I go back through now and I'll sit there and go like when I'm lying in bed. I'm like, holy shit, I remember having that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one.
I do that.
The best part about it, all the crazy weird shit that I bought from eBay, the places that I sold my DVDs and VHS and stuff like that to, they didn't take all the weird ones that didn't have a barcode, like the fucking basket case fucking Blu-ray set. I'm freaked with fucking
right.
Alex Winters and shit like that. Like I got it from fucking Belize. Silver Bullet when it was like a fucking Brazilian release and fucking Maximum Overdrive was like a Spanish release on Blu-ray, and I just remember buying all that shit on fucking eBay, and I'm like, holy shit, they have a fucking Maximum Overdrive on fucking Blu-ray. I need to buy this. Then no one else would fucking take it. So I've got all the cool, like, I selected the one we wanted to keep, and they're sitting in a fucking bookcase in there. But man, it's sad. Like it's one of those things that like always be like I go through fucking Instagram and just go down. Like people are doing the stacks. Like certain people tag me in it. I'm like, I can't do shit on that one anymore.
Right.
It's like someone posted it was like fucking Instagram is an adult version of show and tell, and I'm like, yeah, that's about right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'll be honest with Elm Street though. Like, I love I still have the DVD set from like '99 with the fucking awesome. There it is. Yeah, you got it. The original cover art, bro. The cover art on some of those are fucking to this day unbeatable. Like the fucking all of them, man. Like the Dream Warriors one, like
Dream Warriors,
you can't top that cover art, bro. You can't. Yeah. It's sick. I don't know, like. To me, it deserves that special edition set, but like to me, they went all out for it with DVD, and it just hasn't ever. I don't know, the Blu-ray set of it's really nothing. I mean, it's like 2 to a disc on a lot of them. So I don't know, man. What do you think, AJ?
You can see it hasn't been opened.
About what in general?
The Elm Street thing. Like, do you think there should be a more special, like a better Blu-ray box set of it?
Well, you know my feelings on like old shit. It's like I know there's been certain exceptions, but you can only upgrade so much. It's a 30, 40-year-old movie. You know,
Right.
I don't know. I don't get into it too much. It's like I have the Blu-ray box set, and that's it. You know, I never, especially Elm Street. I'm not a huge fan. The first three are great to me, and then
I'm totally with you.
yeah,
I feel the same way. Yeah,
you know,
I mean, it just surprised me. You know what I mean? That these others have such, these super sets. You know what I mean? But Nightmare on Elm Street, everybody, he's up there with Jason and Michael Myers. I mean, everybody knows Freddy. You know what I mean? So it surprises me that they wouldn't try to cash in like these other companies are. You know what I mean? I just found it very odd that in 2021 there wasn't a set like the other two that are out from that franchise.
we'll just blame Shay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can always do that.
No shit, though, right?
Yeah,
You're absolutely right.
I don't like. There's only a few that I like to double dip. You know.
Yeah. The original, like even I agree with you. The first four I would double dip. The rest, I would never buy a 4K of the fucking Dream Child or that fucking shitty remake, or I'm fucking good on that. Like I don't need to see Freddy's Dead in 4K. Like I don't really,
Yeah. No.
Right.
The DVD 3D is fine for me.
For sure.
But brother Jeff, what was your topic of the evening? First topic.
All right. What was that fucking movie that got you into horror?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Wait. Can you repeat the question?
That fucking kind of scared you and made you like, I kind of like being fucking terrified by this, and I don't know why.
Oh.
I think for Don and me, I think we have the same movie, if I'm not mistaken, Don, and it's right above your head.
Yeah. I saw Friday the 13th at the drive-in at 7 years old. So yeah, I remember like it was one of those ones where they had a kid movie and then they had Friday the 13th, and my mom, who was married fucking 4 times, was on a date, and the guy and I was supposed to be sleeping, right? Me and my sister were in the back supposed to be sleeping, and I'm doing, I'm watching around the corner. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And it was one of those situations, and I know you guys can understand where I'm coming from. I couldn't stop watching, even if I wanted to. You know what I mean? It was horrendous to me, but I just couldn't stop watching. And John knows this. Literally, for 6 months, I slept on the floor next to my mom's bed. It scared me so bad. and it was maybe a year or two, but after that, man, all I wanted to do was watch horror movies. And I grew up in a really strict religious home, but my mom always let me have horror. You know what I mean? Because she knew it was a passion of mine. So that for me, it was definitely Friday the 13th for sure.
Yeah, no, for me too. I will never forget renting it when I actually told the story on my first ever episode of this show, where my grandmother had this house out in PA, and they had this like old school video rental place called 48 Hours, and they had it was a really shithole place. Like it was tiny, and I always remember they had the Carrie TV remake poster in the window. That was one of the first posters I ever saw. I was like, fuck, that movie looks fucking sick. This bitch is covered in blood and in a dress. Like, I need to see that movie. But I remember going up and down the aisles and seeing the original Friday 13th DVD, and it was just that silhouette and the kids in the woods looking, and I was like, this looks awesome. And I put it in, and I was like, holy shit, man, I absolutely love this. The jump scare at the end, the Kevin Bacon neck kill, the whole way they fake you out, where when Marcy goes to the bathroom, how your attention's on her, and instead they kill Kevin Bacon. Just everything in that movie, the heart towards the end of my son drowned, this is why I did this. It just, the perfect crescendo to me of a beginner horror movie. It has it all. It really does. I think it's a masterpiece. I know it'll never get its day in the sun like a Halloween or a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I know it's the series of Friday the 13th is the reputation more so than the original. But for what that original movie did for me, I always consider it right up there with the great, because it really was the pioneer movie and why I fell in love with it. It just was the perfect, got the ball rolling.
Oh yeah,
nice. Well, you know mine because we talked about it on our Childhood Memories episode of Grande's Graveyard.
Yeah, cheap plug.
Yeah, cheap plug. I'm still, because there's so much I saw in like 80, 81, 82. They all get kind of mixed up. But I want to say it was Michael Myers, Halloween, when the NBC premiere of Halloween. And that was all. And I watched it on a little black and white TV in a dark kitchen with my dad. And then he kind of like ditched me after a while. And it was just me and fucking black and white Michael Myers.
Yeah.
That's probably it. That or Prom Night was up around the same time too on TV. But I'll never forget seeing that. I think they still have the promo on YouTube where you can watch like the NBC Friday Night Movie or whatever the hell. Like, scared the shit out of me. I had nightmares for sure, but
very nostalgic. Very nostalgic. Yeah.
Dude, you like grew up with JLC. That's fucking amazing. And also, I know you love Three's Company, so I bet after this double feature, Three's Company too.
Well, yeah, I thought Jamie Lee Curtis only did horror movies, and I see her in like, what was it? Trading Places?
Yeah.
And you know what I saw?
Yeah.
She didn't show it yet.
But I'm like, oh, this is a horror girl. I'm like, okay. So I'd probably go with Halloween. That'd be my first one. Got me into it. Started all this.
Right, exactly.
It's crazy, yeah. Like if you think about it, like what gets the ball rolling? It's like, yeah, like who knows? If I never rented Friday the 13th that night, if Don never went to the drive-in that night, if they showed a kids movie, who knows? Would he have all these collectibles? I don't think he'd have the poster he has over his head. I don't think I'd own these. I don't think I'd have the DVDs I have. It's just like it's something that like caught my eye and interest at a young age, and it's like I think it's a great thing to watch horror movies because it's just like it's a safe way to like test fear. Be like, holy shit! Like, what am I get myself into? And like, I'm excited about this. I don't know. It's something so beautiful about it.
Probably being a Kiss fan too. I mean, think about it. Like Gene Simmons and the way he looks, probably prepped me for horror. I would think.
You were a Kiss fan?
Was still.
Oh, dude, my first concert at 6 years old.
Was it really?
Yeah, man, big Kiss fan. What's that?
What tour?
It would have been during the Alive 2 set.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But I was 6, man. I had the aluminum foil on my sister's boots. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Yeah.
I could date my dad here. His first concert he ever saw, Led Zeppelin. Which I'm like, bro, please tell me you saved the ticket. He's like, bro, we didn't save the ticket, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I just think that's wild. Like seeing Zeppelin, like your first concert ever, you see fucking Zeppelin.
Yeah, that's awesome. I got an uncle like that. I think he's seen Zeppelin. I think he's seen the early Stones and stuff like that. So you just kind of look at him like, wow. But I'm seeing Kiss in September.
Yeah, and they used to go to Studio 54. They saw fucking, Janis. No, not Janis Joplin. Fucking. Can't think of her damn name. I don't give a damn about my reputation. What's fucking Joan Jett? I saw Joan Jett a ton of times, like live. They met fucking Zach Galligan the night that fucking Gremlins or the weekend Gremlins came out. He was at Studio 54. They still have the picture. Like, it's cool to see some of the shit that like, and some of the people they met from back in the day. Like, badass. Cool. Yeah. But Jeff, what about you? What was the movie that got the ball rolling for you?
Debbie Does Dallas.
All right.
Wrong show.
Kind of.
Oh.
So.
Kind of, Debbie.
I know you two below down here will remember this. Remember when like fucking HBO and Cinemax and Showtime used to do like Labor Day fucking free weekends?
Oh yeah.
Like you fucking go to the VCR and put the fucking and record every fucking movie you can so you can watch that movie again later on.
Oh yeah.
And I always wanted to fucking maximize my movie watching abilities during those weekends. So I got up at like 1 or 2 in the morning, 7 or 8, and I turned on the TV. Started watching this movie, and I'm like, yeah, okay. It fucking turned out to be Sleepaway Camp. And my my child mind fucking blew up at the end because I'm watching this girl with a fucking crazy look on her face with a penis, and I'm like, how in the fuck? Like, wait, she's a girl. Like, how does she have a penis? And like killing and stuff like that. I mean, I don't think it bothered me that much, but the girl with the penis thing fucking terrified me, and it haunted me. Like, I'm like, wait, how does that happen? How does that work? Like, I don't understand this. I
have a lot of questions.
Yeah, and it scared me, and I got to meet the amazing Felissa Rose a few years ago, and I told her, I'm like, you're the reason why I fucking like horror movies, because it terrified the shit out of me. Her face, that look on her face, like just the then pointing and with a peanut. I'm like it blew my mind up. And ever since then, that and I remember my parents renting Silence of the Lambs, and I was told I wasn't allowed to watch it because of too violent. So I fucking snuck out, and I kind of hid around the corner and watched the TV from like the dark corner, laying on the floor, and the fucking old lady in the tub. That scared the shit out of me, and I'm like, that I had the worst fucking nightmares from that.
You mean The Shining?
Like that rotten body that was in the tub, and just kind of like when she had the fucking night vision, like that scared me so much.
Oh. I thought you were talking about The Shining for a minute.
I did too. No. I was like, wait a minute, are you talking about The Shining?
God, that it was the old lady rotting in the tub. I don't fucking know. It just scared me so much.
Yeah.
But going on from there, like stuff like Monster Squad, like that's why, like I was so like when I shot a message to Andre Gower, and I never ever actually thought in my a lifetime he'd be like, fuck yeah, let's talk. Monster Squad is a gateway movie for so many people. Many, like at least my generation, it's what brought the whole Universal Monster cast into that time frame. And fucking Ghetto Bird, goddamn! Like every time I try to move and be quiet, there's some fucking crazy ass noise behind me.
Those damn things, you'll probably have to go in like a shed somewhere.
Yeah, I can go in the basement.
A flamethrower?
Yeah, right. Actually,
Sleepaway Camp was a big talk on the schoolyard when that came out on video when I was a kid. It's like, you got to see this movie. It's like, the end, she got a wiener. Like, what?
And it's funny because I remember going to middle school, and I had just seen the movie, and I remember going to homeroom the next day being like, you got to watch this fucking movie. And everybody was like, what's so great about it? I was like, well, at the end, the fucking killer, it turns out she's a man, and she has a green penis, and she turns, and fucking, and everybody's like, what the fuck are you watching, bro? I was like, I'm watching Sleepaway Camp, bitch. I'm going to watch part 2 tomorrow, and this is back when I would watch movies on YouTube.
This is Grande. We need to talk about your son.
She has the fucking excuse me, Mr. Luba. I have a problem with John. He's talking about green penises in second period. But you know, and they would edit out all the sex and shit, and I was like, oh man, like I Sleepaway Camp. That's a really cool choice because you know we sit back and we laugh about it now, and hell, me and Don have laughed. I remember Don met Felissa Rose. He texted me. He goes, bro, she's even more beautiful in person. And I texted him back. I was like, bro, be careful. She has a dick.
Yeah.
I was like, I agree, but be careful. She was great to me. And I met her. She actually did a signing for fucking free. Like not even 20 minutes from where I live. Yeah. You had to bring your own shit, but she signed for free. Totally cool. Love Felissa Rose. Cool. But that's a good pick because that ending, man, that's an iconic moment in horror. It really is because it does the one thing that every great horror ending tries to do. It's be memorable. Everybody remembers that. For better or for worse, for funny or for scary. We all remember the end of Sleepaway Camp. Like, it's just, it's iconic. It really is. Like, no matter what you think of the movie either, you know, because I like the sequels better, to be honest. But that ending forever is going to be talked about. It's like one of the best endings ever.
I'm envious of you guys because where I grew up, man, there was like one horror fan, and it was me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, my friends, you know, like I said, I grew up pretty strictly religious, but you know, I mean, still, man, you know, I had to, you know, buddy up myself and say, "Hey, you want to watch a movie?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, let's watch it." You know what I mean? I didn't really have that experience, so it's great to hear. And I think a lot of people have that experience. You can bond with somebody. I guess I'm just some kind of psychopath. I don't know, but that's what I did, man. The movie for me that scared the shit out of me. Remember Evil Speak?
With Clint Howard.
With Clint Howard, yeah. You remember the end where it's like floating around? That shit scared the shit out of me, man. I was 9 years old or 10 years old when that came out.
Bro,
yeah,
the
man.
With the pigs in that movie scares the shit out of me.
Yep, scared the garbage out of me. So, but anyway, yeah, I love that movie.
Had that same effect on me too. When that was on TV, Salem's Lot. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, scratching at the window. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, Salem's Lot's great.
Like, as for scary shit, two come to mind for me. Burnt Offerings, like the scene where fucking Betty Davis dies, that scared the shit out of me. And Pet Cemetery, when they're bringing the pea soup up to Zelda, the sister, and she's all fucked up and contorted. I remember I fucking freaked out. I was like, yo, I was scared to go in my sister's room because I was like, yo, I'm scared you're gonna be contorted green bitch. Like,
that's still freaky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was like 16. It scared the shit out of me when I came out. Probably 15.
Right.
Zell's going to get me.
Oh, nice, Solus. Classic.
Yeah, just saw Evil Speak. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
But I guess we can get into my first topic of the night. And this one, I thought this was a lot of fun. And I know we have some diehard fans of both guys in the house, so I feel like this would be a fun topic. NFL draft. We got an NFL draft. We've got two up-and-coming horror directors coming out of the draft. You have the first overall pick. Dario Argento and Lucio Fulci's coming out of high school.
Dude, it was one of my topics. This is one of my topics, bro.
There's no way.
I got all my Fulci's right here.
That's
no
crazy,
way.
Dude. That's crazy. Okay, well, good. I hope you have a backup because this was.
Right.
I thought this would be fun. You have the first pick. Who you draft and why? Argento, Fulci. Go for it. Give me a. As AJ does the Italian.
Man.
Nobody wants to go first? Who you
I mean, I haven't been like a diehard either one of them fans for like decades. I didn't really. We talked about that before. I saw Zombie in like high school, and probably Suspiria, around the same time. So it's in bits and I've seen here and there, but I've really been getting into Fulci more than Argento. So I would pick Fulci because I just like it. Argento is a little too artsy for me, I guess. I don't know. Fulci is just more like, I'm just going to put some bitch's eye out with, you're going to like it, Argento.
Fucking Bob.
No, not Bob.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
But I'm just a bigger Fulci fan now. I mean, I've tried. I still need to watch more Argento for sure. But what I've seen, it's like I like it, but it's a little too artsy for me, a little too slow. I don't know. Maybe I'm just more of a cretin. I don't know.
Well, I think the first thing you should start with is Dracula 3D.
Yeah.
All right, man.
I heard about that one.
Yeah. This is a tough one, bro. This is tough. That's why I was going to ask you. I wanted to surprise you guys. For me, right? It's like if you're talking about like the NFL or baseball or something, it depends on what kind of offense you want to run, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll say this. The character, we didn't know him, but the character of Lucio Fulci intrigues me way more than Dario Argento, right? If you're looking, I'm also a big Giallo guy. You know what I mean? So bam, I'm like, oh yeah, it's got, and then I'm like, fuck. I know, Zombie, House by the Cemetery, City of the Living Dead. I'm like, damn, The Devil's Honey, right, John?
Yes, Devil's Honey.
But I'm so much more intrigued by Lucio Fulci and what's behind his movies. I'm with you, AJ. I love Argento. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not as intrigued by the person behind it. Therefore, there's just a little bit less to it when I'm watching the films. Does that make sense?
Totally. That
You know what
makes
I'm saying? So I would have to say this is a 1A and B situation, but if I got to, I'd probably go Fulci too.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Brother Jeff, who do you pick? Who are you drafting with?
Fulci, man.
Roger Goodell.
House by the
Fulci,
Cemetery,
holy
man.
shit.
That's one of my favorites all time. And fuck Bob. Like, I don't condone violence against children, but Bob needs to fucking go. But I love that movie. That
Nice.
is one of my all-time favorites. It scared the shit out of me when I was younger, and it worked. Argento is just a little too artsy-fartsy for my liking. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
Can I add to this? And
Sure.
Tell me if you. I saw Suspiria at age 27. Okay, so I came late to the Suspiria game, right? But I will say this: Suspiria is the last movie that scared me, and I know that's probably going to surprise you guys. You're like, Suspiria really scared? But I was alone in a house in my in-laws' home, and I went to the video store and rented the VHS tape, and I came back and watched it. And all the lights were out in the house, and I had to go by a dark room to get to the stairs to go up to bed, right? That shit scared the fuck out of me. I was 27 years old. I'm saying to myself, are you for real? And I'm like, damn. Yeah. So I ran like I was 7. I ran across that room and ran upstairs. I swear to God. So that's an interesting story, right? Like, I love Argento, but I gotta go first. Sorry, John. What do you got to say? I think I know your answer, but let's see.
Nothing to be sorry for at all. We have a ton of people that are weighing in on this. Haven't really seen Fulci. I've seen a little Argento, so I'm Team Argento. Okay, we've got 1 vote Argento. Only Fulci I saw was The Beyond. I remember liking. Only Argento I've seen was phenomenal. I remember hating it. So I guess that's Team Fulci. Team Argento, Deep Red, Suspiria, Opera, all great movies for sure. I'm Fulci as well. Too many crazy movies, plus Don't Torture Duckling. That's, I think, one of the best Lucio Fulci movies out there. And then the mayor is in the house. The mayor, what's up, buddy? Leave Bob alone. It's not his fault that a grown woman dubbed his voice. Yeah,
right.
That's some bad dubbing. But, if you had asked me this question even 3-4 years ago, I would have said Argento layup. But, since I've seen the documentary on Fulci's life, and I've watched more Fulci films, whether it be The Devil's Honey, whether it be Don't Torture a Duckling, people always remember him for the Gates of Hell trilogy, Manhattan Ripper, all these movies that came out right in the early 80s, later half of the 70s, Zombie. Those are the movies we remember Fulci for. But that guy made so many fucking great movies that nobody the Sidekick is great. The Black Cat is solid. Don't Torture a Duckling is really, really solid. Like I said, I watched The Devil's Honey. Love that movie. Demonia. Fucking Cat in the Brain. I mean, Argento's filmography, I do think you get quality over quantity. And I do think with Fulci, you get a lot more quantity. There's way more Fulci films than Argento films. But I agree with what AJ was saying before. It really does depend on what Don was saying before, what type of offense you're trying to run. Because Fulci, it's funny, we all remember the gore and stuff like that, but he can do other things and bring other vibes of exploitation in there, whether it be sexploitation, whether it be his, attempt at giallo films and talking about a movie like Don't Torture Duckling, which is one of my favorites. That's a great, whodunit, and it's really fucking deep considering.
Contraband.
Yeah, I mean, it's about this child killer, and there's a scene where they believe that this woman's done it. She's pretty much going to be convicted, and the town, they just beat the shit out of her to this really good music. I definitely think, with Argento, there's so much more of that style, and I love that style. I'm a mark for that style, and I love everything that he adds to the palette. But I think with Fulci, I think the thing is he has a lot more heart in there. There's so much more heart with a Lucio Fulci film. He really brought everything he had to each movie, even on his deathbed, man. Because in the late 80s, he was in really rough shape health-wise, and he still wanted to keep working. They said, these horror stories on the set of Devil's Honey, Demonia, he could barely eat anymore, and he still wanted to keep working and making horror movies and just movies in general, just because he loved to work. And I agree I think he's definitely a more interesting person of the two. But for me personally, I definitely, from a style standpoint, my kind of offense, I'd go Argento. But I agree. It's a 1A, 1B thing. I don't think there is a wrong answer. I think they're arguably two of the best ever to take the director's chair. And I don't know. It's interesting. I actually am thrilled all three of you said Fulci. I think that's really fantastic because it goes to show you that it's like, a lot of people, they talk about different flavors. It's just like, that's the beauty. There's different flavors. We all like different stuff for different reasons, So there is no right or wrong answer. There's chocolate or vanilla. Who cares? They're both awesome. Who gives a shit? Like,
Right.
it's just really which one do you pick, And that's why there's so many different flavors of the genre to choose from. So I would say Argento for me personally, but when it comes to Fulci and his heart, man, can't sleep on that. Absolutely love that guy.
Nice.
But who has the next? I believe it's AJ's turn. If I'm not mistaken.
Another topic here.
Another topic,
Sure.
Yeah, brother.
Well, let me see here. What are your feelings on the current state of horror?
Oh shit!
Not only movies, but the community as well. How do you feel? Positive, negative, good, bad?
Wow, that's hard, man.
Well, it's. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, on my end, I've gotten to grow and meet people like you guys that are fucking awesome. Then there's people that, like, I don't know. There's people in the horror community that are very, I don't know, just like there's a lot of show more than substance. Like, it I don't know. I don't know if it's always been, and I was just blind to it as being younger and going to cons and stuff like that. It's just a different environment now. Like, I remember going to a con, like the Full Moon Con down in Nashville. I used to go there fucking, 10 years ago. It was a tiny ass little room. They had tattoo on one side and horror on the other. And now you go down there, it's just, I don't know. It's different vibe. It's different energy, different feeling. And I don't know if it's a good feeling or good vibe or good energy. It's a different one.
Yeah.
And I'm an old style guy. If I mean, shit, I love boobs, beer, gore, and puppets. I mean, shit, that's what I like in horror movies.
Wait, threw me off there. He threw puppets in there. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Hold on a
I gotta
second.
throw puppets in there. I love horror movies with puppets. They're my favorite. Fucking Ghoulies, Crit, all that. But I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just a little like a little curmudgeon-y shit. You look at my battle vest. I got to get off my lawn fucking patch on the pocket. Like, I'm an older style guy. I'm not. I don't judge anyone on how the fuck they want to do stuff and do it. You be you. You have fun. As long as you're not hurting anyone, you're good. But it's just a different energy and different vibe, and I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, and it's just time will tell. Like, it could go either way.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's just hard to tell nowadays. I mean, like, I loved, like, I just remember being that fucking nerd for horror movies, like being that fucking punk rock kid with a fucking mohawk and fucking spike jacket. You got fucking bullied, and I'm fucking almost 7 feet tall, and my ass got bullied by like the upperclassmen in high school for having a fucking green mohawk and a leather jacket with studs on it, and fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre fucking scrawled in white out on the back of it, and or fucking Evil Dead written on it, and fucking multitude of punk bands and shit like that. And I just feel like the newer generation didn't get that abuse and didn't get that kind of shunning, and it just made them a little different. It's not the same kind of crowd as it used to be.
Yeah.
And I think it goes along with the comic nerds too. Like, I mean, like I like when I meet people, I go, "Hey, what's your nerd?" And they'll either be like, "Oh, I love fucking comics. I love superhero movies. I love this. I love that." And I'm like, "Oh, I fucking love horror movies, and horror movies are my nerd." And I just feel the same way. Like you go to these cons, it's so different and such a weird environment now, as it used to be.
Is
But
that's
that
why
just might be me being an old man. So
that's why I asked the question, because there's like 4 of us, and we're all, Don's a little older than me, I'm a little older than Jeff, and we're all older than Grande, but Grande's like, you know, an old soul. So it's like we've all went through different eras, even though we're not super far away from each other. But them 5 or 6 years here and there, it really makes a difference. So
yeah, it's totally true. You know, again, I kind of feel like Jeff does. I don't want to be the curmudgeonly old dude. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is that John is an anomaly. He's the anomaly for the young crowd. You know what I mean? I mean, John and I did a podcast for about a year, and I mean, it's just he's just not the same. Now I do some cons and stuff too, and it seems like everything else in the world nowadays, everything becomes somewhat of a status, right? You go to cons. Now Jeff and I, all of us could go. We could go to the bar at a con. Get fucked up, maybe meet a couple people at the bar. Some celebrities and have a good time. But man, I'll tell you what, you go into a bar, I go to cons alone. I don't know about you guys. My wife's not a big horror fan like I am. She'll watch them, but anyways, I go alone, and it's just, you walk in and I feel out of place, and I'm the big, I think I'm the biggest horror nerd there is. And I feel out of place at a horror convention. That's bullshit, man. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to go to a horror convention and pay a fucking $210 to get a picture with somebody. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? I remember going to cons, $10-20 or free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I feel out of place at a horror convention as a horror fanatic. That's garbage, man. It shouldn't be like that, So it's like everything else in the world nowadays, right? Everybody uses something for status, and I feel that, yep, that's right. It's all about the bucks. So yeah, I got a little bit of an attitude, as you can tell about it.
No, but it's ridiculous in a lot of ways. Like, sure, would I love to meet Robert Englund? Sure, but I'm not paying him $360 to take a fucking picture with him in the Freddy makeup, and he's going to wear a shitty fucking convention T-shirt. That's bullshit. $360, but that's... Bro, it's absurd. And I think, when you're all talking about the difference of the vibe now, like, and I totally can understand, because I remember the first convention I went to, I was a really little kid, and I just saw how late, number one, how late people were staying up, drinking fucking Jägermeister in the lobby of the fucking hotel and laughing like fuck. And then I remember we went to the midnight screening of Dawn of the Dead on this projector, and people just having a great time. And I'm like, a big reason why I love the genre, it's the camaraderie, and like, people drinking, having a good time, enjoying their, favorite movies. And, I'm a big believer in that. I love the camaraderie of anything I'm passionate about, whether it be horror movies or whether it be something else. But I think that you guys are definitely right with the vibe being different, because it's a different era. It's a different age. It's really, different eras work for different reasons. And I think that I will say that there's so many great people I have met in the horror community, and a ton of them are in the chat right now. Corey, Trenchy, Ty Junebug, Aiden, everybody in the chat right now, really good people. Eric, a lot of great people. And like, that's the positive side. I love when you meet somebody that you can be friends with in the genre. But like, there is a negative side too. There are people that are just for themselves, whether it be the bigger YouTube channels of the world with millions and millions of subscribers, and they're just, I'll get to that if somebody pays me, or I don't like that shit. Like, shouldn't it all be for the passion? Like, that's my thing. Like, I do this for fun. This is just something I like to do. And like, now it just seems like it comes down to the almighty dollar, like you guys were saying. And like, I don't know, that it taints it a little bit for me. Like, to me, in my opinion, like, if I go up to meet Doug Bradley, I like, yeah, I'll pay him something. But to me, the thing is, he should be happy that I'm like, hey, man, I saw Hellraiser and I was scared shitless. And, it was one of the coolest moments of my childhood, and getting a picture with him. That's That's what I like, you know. But when it comes to the almighty, oh, well, that's going to cost you this, that's going to cost you that. I don't know, man. And I do think that there's certain parts of our generation and era that it is lame. It's rather lame. It's just I don't know. It's hard to describe, but I definitely
I get it 100%, man. Like I said, I'm an old punk rocker, man. I used to go into fucking shows for $5. I pay $5. I see 6, 7 bands that are fucking, one being a band from fucking England touring the fucking country.
Yeah.
It goes back to it. Like, these cons now are fucking ridiculous on their prices. And yeah, well, fuck. I mean, I'll pay $350 if fucking Freddie wears my fucking drink beer and watch horror shirt. I mean, there you go. I mean, like, but I'm a capitalist, yes.
Sure.
But I'm not going to rip people off. Like, I don't want to rip people off. I want to do this. I want to be able to make money on my business wise and have fun at the same time. Like, that's where I'm at on that. And that's why I want to do the food truck too. I love fucking cooking. I've been cooking all my life, and I'm just like, why can't I? I want to figure a way how I can fucking, hey, Freddie comes up, you know what? I want to get Freddie on the fucking truck, and I'll take a picture with him on the truck, and like, I'm plaster that fucking shit on the side of the truck. Look, fucking Freddie came and ate a fucking cheeseburger. I know he's a vegetarian, isn't he? That's a whole nother story. I know he's a vegetarian. So.
I know what you mean though, man. Like, to me, and it's the big difference between generations. I think, like, you're from the generation you guys come from, it's, you know, the money was almost a bonus, but it was the passion and of what you love that was the main thing.
Yep.
Now it's the other way around. It's like, oh, you know, money is the main passion. And, oh, if we have a good time too, that's a bonus. Like, I don't.
Right.
It should be the other way around. The money should be the bonus, and the exciting part should be enjoying what you do. At least that's how I like to look at it. But I know.
Okay, so I've got a little tiny story on this. So, shit, it had to be 7, 8 years ago. It was like one of those hero and villains cons or Walker Stalker or some shit like that. Me and my buddy went and we fucking hit the bar hard, and because we had to wait in line. Like, that was the thing. Like, we had to wait in line to get autographs, and I fucking chose the chick that played Rosita, Christina Santos or whatever. He picked the Breckenridge girl from Walking Dead, and we had to wait in line, and I was fucking hammer drunk. And, like, I remember, like, she's like, oh, I gotta go do, like, promo photos. I was yelling, like, you want a shot of tequila or something? Like, just screaming at her, and she's like, oh, no, I'm good. Then we met her, and I'm like, I just want, like, I'm like I said, I'm almost 7 feet tall. Like, I wanted to pick her up. I'm like, can I pick you up and carry you around? She's like, no.
I have to pass.
But then we got the autographs, and we're walking around, and fucking Eugene Clark was up in there, and Big fucking Daddy from Land of the Dead. He's like, goes, hey, I'll sell you like a plastic thing for $10 to hold your thing. I'm like, dude, you're fucking Big Daddy from Land of the Dead. You shouldn't be fucking selling a plastic thing to me. You should be like, hey, I'm Big Daddy from Land of the Dead. Fucking come get a picture. I'm like, I'll give you $10. Give us a picture, and I'll fucking hang out, and we'll talk. And completely shit-faced to fucking annoy the crap out of Eugene Clark. But it was a fun little time. But he was super. But it made me sad too. Like, you shouldn't be trying to sell someone a plastic thing for a fucking autograph when you should be selling your autograph.
Right.
Like, he wasn't asking much. He was a cool dude, and it was just, I don't know. It just made me kind of like and weary and kind of upset about it. Like, I'm like, and that's where it went into the whole, like, I remember when being a fucking nerd was a bad thing, and you got picked on for it. And might have been comic books or might have been horror, and now it's not. It's like super socially acceptable, and it made a different kind of person out of you.
Yeah,
that's completely true. Like, I never got made fun of for liking horror movies. Like, never. Like, people were like, I mean, the shit you watch is crazy, but they never would make fun of me or were mean to me or anything like that. Like, never, ever. It was always like super supportive. Like, but you're telling me you're 7 foot tall and made fun of and shit. Like, that's crazy. That, number one, that's wild that anybody would go near make fun of somebody that's 7 foot tall, let alone fucking, like, that's just crazy. But I don't know. I hope you kick some ass, personally.
That's when I was younger and
Say that probably came later, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now I'm
same
old and fat and just drink beer. So.
here. Yeah, actually, next month I'm going to Horror Hound in Cincinnati,
Oh, cool.
and I was really excited. Robert England's going to be there. He wants $150. Sandy Johnson, you know who Sandy Johnson is, right? Everybody knows
I know.
who listen, if you look up at the pictures from the past, holy fuck. Anyway, she was in Playboy in 1974, which
Yeah.
I was two at the time. So just anyway,
1974.
Dude,
What the fuck?
John, you got to look her up. Sandy Johnson from the original Halloween. She was absolutely gorgeous. Anyways, now think about the part she's played in horror. I mean, I'm not saying she's irrelevant, but $50?
No,
man. Come on. You know what I mean? Come on,
20 tops, maybe.
20. Well, I'd go a little lower. Never mind.
No.
But anyways, the money thing, like you said, I grew up super poor, guys, right? And I don't, maybe you guys did too. I don't know. So for someone to tell me that you want me to pay you $150 to get a picture with you, motherfucker, you should pay me $75 to get a picture with me. You know what I mean? I got a bad attitude about it. I grew up with nothing. Now that I'm in a good place in my life, I got it. I'm like, no way, it ain't happening. You know what I mean? So, what about you, Jay?
Like when I go to cons now, I love to just take pictures with the fans that are dressed up in cosplay. Like I saw a guy, the whole Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I was like, can I get a picture with you guys?
Nice.
Sure. You make some small talk and then you move on. And then, holy shit, this guy's dressed like Leatherface. Pretend to cut me in half. Okay. You get much more money's worth than from a fellow fan and just talking about, oh, I grew up on this. Oh, I grew up on that. Oh, cool. Fucking A, man. You want to get a drink? Sure. You want to get some pizza? Sure. Like, it's that camaraderie that I love about horror conventions. It's the business that I guess maybe being more aware of it now that I'm older. Like, as a kid, I didn't know anything about anything. I didn't know, this guy's going to charge my dad how much money for holy shit, and now when it's my money, it's like, holy shit, like, wait a minute, let me take a step back here. But I don't know, personally, the last couple cons I went to, I saw some crazy lines and I said, you know what, I see more fans and I'm going to just have some great small talk conversations and enjoy my day instead of waiting online, fucking meet, whoever the hell it is, overcharging people. It's just like, there's certain people, hell yeah. Like Pat Springsteen, I'd wait on a fucking King of Kyle line to meet that bitch. I would pay her whatever she wants. I would mortgage my house for her to sign on the titties, on the yitties. I would mark out. But if that day never comes, that's okay. It's more money in my pocket and I can enjoy myself at the cons. But that's
That's what I say, like with the camaraderie thing. It's like, I know things. I've seen things. You've seen things. We've all seen different, some less. I always tell people, it's like, Grande's half my age. He knows fucking 10 times more shit than I do, and I'm not gonna. I don't care. That's that's cool to me. And you gotta talk to him. Don't ask me a bunch of questions. I don't fucking pay attention to anything. Ask him, and we should all get together and play off each other like that instead of being like, you've never seen like Suspiria, or you don't know who Fulci is, or stupid shit like that.
Right.
It's like I would like to see more. I'm sure there is somewhere, but like we're all in different states, so that just shows like how many people I know, that are into it too. But and with the cons too, it's like I was so disappointed in Kane Hodder because the first time I met him, he charged one price, and the next thing I'm like, I'm gonna update my picture, it was $10 more. It was only $10 more. I'm like, come on, Kane, like $50,
right,
for a picture. He's a cool dude. He's a nice guy, but it's like,
very cool. If
you ask anyone in your block who Kane Hodder was, they'd be like, I don't know who the hell he is. So it's like, come on, man, don't like. You're all making.
I remember the funniest shit ever was I was at a convention and Bill Thornberry from Phantasm was there, and he was charging like I think close to $50. It was probably $40 or $50. I don't remember. And my dad was like, "Oh, it's the guy from Phantasm." I was like, "Bro, if I gave fucking Bill Thornberry $40, everyone's gonna be like, bro, was that you and your uncle? Like, no one's gonna know who the fuck that is. Like, bro, is your uncle put on mad weight? Like, what the fuck?" Like, I was like, "Dude, I'm good. I'll take that $40 and we can go to Five Guys and we can have some fucking burgers till dawn, brother." I was like, "No way." Like, all respect to Bill Thornberry, but fuck no.
And I mean, I guess it all depends who the person is, what they mean to you. Like I got Stan Lee's autograph, and it was very expensive. But my wife talked me into it. She's like, "He's getting old, you know.
Yeah.
You're in the comics. It's Stan Lee." My wife telling me like it's Stan Lee. Yeah. So, and luckily I didn't get I should have got the picture, but the picture was like another fucking $100 or something. Like I'm like no, but you know, I guess it all depends how much you want to spend, who it is. But they should all kind of, I don't know. I wish they just have a flat rate or think about it more. More people would get it if they charge less. But you know, and I was at a Fangoria convention in '92, and Bruce Campbell was free. The line was like close to 3 hours, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but Bruce Campbell was free.
Right.
Yeah, right. That's not like to me. Hearing that, I'm like, bro, I'll wait 6 hours. Fuck. Right.
For a B with a shitty line, that's that was worth it for free. But now, no, I got a picture with him. So,
you know, the Stan Lee thing you're talking about, John will remember this. I interviewed Adrian King, which was fucking amazing to me because Friday 13th. Anyway,
November.
But oh really? Oh nice.
Yeah,
she's a wonderful lady. But the con I went to, George Romero was supposed to. You remember this, Sean?
Yes.
George Romero was supposed to be there, and he canceled at the last minute, and that's when he passed away.
Yeah.
So you say you got the Stan Lee, and I was this close to getting the Romero. You know what I mean? So there are certain people I'd pay good money, like John Carpenter or somebody. I've never met John. I don't know. Has anybody met John Carpenter?
I have not.
No. I got his autograph. A friend got me, but I never met him.
Yeah, I would. You know, that's somebody that I would probably pay money. But for most of these people, like you said, Kane, I met him once. He signed for me. That was good enough. You know what I mean? I won't. You know, I'm not gonna. And I love Kane. John will tell you, I love Kane. He's a great guy. But yeah, most of these people. I mean, God, Shelley from
Larry Zerner.
Yeah, Larry Zerner, awesome dude. You know what I mean? You know what he charged me for an autograph?
Oh shit!
0.
Nothing, right? Yeah,
there you
nothing.
Go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So because he appreciates, you know, I think that a lot of people, and somebody said over here in the comments that they get wrapped up in the fame part, you know, in the money part, you know what I'm saying? Instead of the appreciation for what see, the fans have already given them something.
Yes.
Right. They've already given them, even if it's a little bit of fame, they've already given them that and some money even, you know? So to come back and to kick us in the nuts and ask us for outrageous amounts of money, that's what it is. It's a kick in the shin. You know what I mean? So I don't mind going. This I got to be honest with you. This is probably the last horror convention I'll ever go to, unless Carpenter's anywhere close, because that's how, you know, I don't want to go. I don't want to have a reason to be mad at the shit I love. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just stay away, and I'll just stay away and talk to you sons of bitches, and we'll have
bring it on.
Well said, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's the way
Carpenter
I'd rather
comes
do it.
down to what is it, Western Kentucky University or whatever, down in Bowling Green. He goes down, does a speaking engagement every year because he's an alumni. So I found that out just going from the fucking history museum here in Kentucky.
That's awesome.
To find out when that's going to happen. Yeah. That'd be about a 4-hour drive.
Most of the people that I would really like to meet are dead. So
yeah.
I kind of lucked out.
yeah. You lucked out. Wow.
John Ritter, Johnny Cash, George Carlin, they're all gone.
Yeah.
Fulci too.
Yeah.
Fulci, yeah, that would have been great.
Gone too soon.
Fucking Bob's still alive.
Fuck.
Did I tell you about Bob?
What?
You told me he lives by me, right?
He works for a company.
He lives by you.
Yeah, he works for a company probably 20 minutes away from me. Well, that's what his LinkedIn says. I'm like, I want to write his LinkedIn and see if he'll like.
I was waiting for the punchline, bro. I swear to God, I was waiting for the punchline. No shit, that's crazy.
Like, he works like 20 minutes away from me.
I wonder if his LinkedIn has the shitty like women dubbing in it too. That funny.
Oh no!
You click on his bio and it's red, just a shitty block.
I gotta go meet Bob.
You should. You should find out where he works and just show up and be like, "You're fucking Bob."
You should dress up like Dr. Freudstein and show up, see what he says.
Bob! Explain the ending of House by the Cemetery to me.
He can make good bucks at one of the just a weekend at one of the conventions. I'd give Bob $20 to sign.
I'd fucking give Bob $40. Fuck yes.
I'd give Bob $20 to go and go, "Fuck you, Bob." That's it. And just walk away.
Yeah.
Like he can make a killing. I don't know. I'm sure he's got a pretty good job. Whatever. What's a few $100 in cash? You know.
Yeah. In the near future, I'm definitely going to try to. I want to try to get certain horror celebrities on. Like I want to get the girl from Secret Santa to come on this. I would think that would be really cool. Keegan Chambers, she's cool as shit. I'd like to get people on that I haven't heard that much from. And Bob would be perfect. Like I should reach out and be like,
dude, I mean, hey, I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show up at Horror Hound and just say I'm the guy that played Bob. They wouldn't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? Like, line the call, baby.
Ask anybody for $40 though, bro.
Hey,
try it,
I'm asking 40, but I'll do it for 10.
Don't tell anybody though.
He's on LinkedIn, so check out his LinkedIn page.
That's crazy. Get all kind of information.
Well, you could probably get like Deborah Voorhees. I hear I've seen some things with her. She's pretty cool.
Bro,
she's done a couple of podcasts.
Dude, she is cool as
yeah.
She is cool as hell.
She's the first one.
Like, say your yitties. Let's you know.
Actually, she's a big producer now. She's doing big that 13 fanboy of milk. No,
good looking woman, man. I remember when I first saw, I was like, "Fucking holy shit!"
Doesn't 13 fanboy come out like next month, or is it October?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, she probably asked too much. Now you know she's too big.
I would fucking
no pun intended.
I would be down. I'd be like, "No, look who the hell I just met." But so Don, what was your next topic, good brother?
Well, I was just going to ask you guys. You know, this kind of goes along with what AJ was talking about, and the atmosphere around horror right now. What's your favorite horror movie from the last 5 years? John, you don't have to answer. Everybody knows. Probably something weird where they're out in a cabin and it's snowing or some shit like that.
Fuck, I love that movie.
Or they're in a lighthouse. I don't know.
I love that movie too.
I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. What do you guys think? Last 5 years. What do you?
The Gay Shining, you mean?
Right. Yes.
Shit.
Oh man. Okay. Let me put it. Or the worst. Or the worst.
Best or the worst?
Yeah.
Horror movie the last 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah, I mean, what you can do the last year if you want. That's what I was gonna do, but I don't know if anybody's seen any.
I don't know what would fall under like 5 years, but Rob Zombie would probably fall under both because I like his movies. I'm not gonna lie. I know he gets shit on a lot, but on the other hand, 3 from Hell was probably the biggest piece of shit that I've seen in the last few years.
Yeah. I couldn't listen, man. I love Devil's Rejects. I love House of a Thousand Corpses, but I still haven't finished 3 from Hell. I try to sit down a couple times and I'm like, this is wow.
Yeah. I could probably come up with more worse ones. The last Halloween 2018 can suck my ass.
Oh man, it's nice to hear you guys say that, man, because these young people love that fucking shit. Dude.
No.
Like, wow.
I'll watch the other one.
I can't wait for Halloween Kills. Oh, really? Okay, well,
not me.
Set the bar low, I guess.
I like the Michael. I like the kills. Those were cool, but the movie as a whole, no.
AJ, who's the guy on Instagram that went on that great rant? He just shit all over. He was like, "Bro, he's been staring at the ground for 40 years." It was hilarious, bro. I was in work and I had to leave the office. I was laughing so hard. Yo, this guy's my hero.
Did I send that to you?
Yes. I follow him to this day. The guy's great. He's fucking hilarious.
I'd have to look.
I can't remember his name. He's got a tiny mustache. He's fat funny.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This sums up my thoughts. This guy did it in 5 minutes.
John said he had a tiny mustache.
He did. I swear he did. It's like a really tiny mustache. It's bad funny.
Like John Waters style, like that little pencil thin little shit.
It's porn.
I fucking wish John Waters would do a fucking rant on Halloween. I would love to see that shit, man. I don't know. What would you guys say? What would you say, Jeff? Favorite horror movie of the last 5 years?
Shit. VFW, man. VFW was so good. That casting, whoever casted that movie, fucking A+. I mean, I wanted a little more like curmudgeon-y old man, like get off my lawn, fucking Gran Torino kind of style anger behind it. But them, like the past 2 years, that movie has been probably like the best one. I'm like, I got fucking wasted. I got fucking drank a whole 6-pack watching it, and I'm like ranting afterwards. My wife is just like watching me like, you're a fucking idiot. But I mean, it was one of those ones that I watched and I'm like, holy shit, this is a really good movie. Like, and people need to watch it. Like, just from the casting, it has the fucking hammer in it. I mean,
right.
It was such a good movie.
It was a lot of fun, wasn't it? A lot of fun, yeah. Yeah, I dug it. What about you, John?
But, I don't know. I Psycho Gorman was all right, but
I still haven't seen that.
It was still a little,
yeah.
It wasn't great. Like I don't think there has been a great, like holy shit, that was such a great fucking movie. Like in a long time. A long time.
See, I have a hard time getting drunk and watching movies or getting high. I don't get high, but I'm sure it'd be the same because I end up going, yeah, that Pet Sematary remake was amazing. You know what I'm saying? And people were looking at me like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" So yeah, that's usually what happens to me.
Oh, I'm completely the opposite. I'll fucking yell at the TV. It's like watching like AJ and Grande will get this, like watching old wrestling DVDs and just yelling at the TV because you already know who's going to win or lose. But you fucking just like, what the fuck? That's so stupid. Just getting fucking angry at the TV.
Harper, you prick.
Yeah. I'm fucking like the King of the Ring from like 92 or 93. Fuck. Yeah. Yeah. That kind of shit. But.
Nice.
Yeah.
Favorite. I actually like quite a few films in the past couple of years. Like I know AJ Dom makes fun of me. I love The Lodge. I thought that was a great fucking throwback movie. I saw Aiden mention It Follows. That's not last 5 years. That's I think like 20. I don't know. It's close enough though. That was
yeah.
I remember going to the theater that night and not thinking nothing. And I walked out and I was like, that felt like a John Carpenter movie made today. Like that was so. I was mesmerized by that. I loved The Lighthouse. I loved The Witch. I thought The Battery was a fantastic movie. There's quite a few that I definitely get into. I really
that was good.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's. I do know that there's a lot of shit in between. I mean, there's more bad than good of the last few years for sure. The Woman. That's a horror movie that I fucking adore. I think that's a great movie, and nobody ever really talks about it. But as for bad, I don't know. Most overrated.
Right.
Hereditary. Every remake that's been made.
What's that?
Fucking every remake that's been made. Fucking Child's Play. Fucking
Pet Sematary.
Oh
what the fuck? The fucking the scene where they killed the kid in Pet Sematary. It was like I was like, what is this Final Destination? Like, fucking the hydraulics in the truck fell off, and then this happened. Where is my man Fred Gwynn? Oh, well, you better not be going on that road now. On the road, you see, don't you get around up on the road? That's don't remake that shit, man. Fuck. Yeah. And the Black Christmas fucking.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
The fuck, like it was just a fuck you to all men, and I was just like, dude, like, what the fuck? Like we'll target this demographic and we'll flip them off. Like, I don't get shit like that, man. I just don't like. It's too much. Let's bring this back. Let's bring that back. And I get it. It's the whole let's capitalize on the established name. But man, like, I don't know how these new filmmakers are supposed to grow. Like let them grow. Let them do their own shit. Like Alex Aja is a perfect example. I saw High Tension. And I was like, this is the next guy. Like, this is going to be one of the best filmmakers of our time. Still in his own right, a good filmmaker, but The next thing he got was Hills of Eyes remake. Oh, let's remake Mirrors. Oh, let's have him remake Piranha. Like, I get it, and those movies aren't terrible or anything, but like, do you want to let the guy do what he just did? Like, make another original horror movie? Like,
Yeah.
to me, it would have been a waste of John Carpenter's career if they just said, hey, remake Frankenstein, then do Dracula, then do Wolfman. It would have been bullshit. I'm sure John Carpenter would have delivered, but we wouldn't have gotten The Thing. We wouldn't have gotten Halloween. We wouldn't have gotten, like, Escape from New York and all these great John Carpenter movies that were original. Like, that's my thing. It's just, how do you expect these new guys to grow if all you hand them is reboots, and that's supposed to be their big thing? Like these Texas Chainsaw Massacre people, like, how do you get handed that, bro? You lose. You can't beat the original movie. They haven't made a sequel yet that has beat the original movie, in my opinion. Like, what? You're already behind the 8 ball. To me, it's just like, let that guy grow. Let him do what he wants to do. And I think that's how we can get good horror consistently now. It just doesn't work that way anymore, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. True. Have you guys seen The Empty Man?
I haven't.
It's on HBO Max right now. It's the movie that was made by Warner Brothers, and then they sold to Disney, and then Disney just fucking dropped it. Anyways, I think it's on HBO Max right now. It's actually, the first 3/4 of the movie is really, really good. The last is not so great, but up to that point, I was really excited. You know what I'm saying? You ever have that experience? Oh, this is a great movie. This is a great movie. What the fuck was that? That happens to me all the time. Yeah. So I think you guys should check that out if you haven't. I mean, it's, it wasn't that bad at the end, but it also didn't. But anyways, I think of the last, whatever years. I mean, a lot of people say like Get Out and things like that, which I thought was an okay movie. I can't really get into it. It's not really my thing. But I would say that It Follows as a movie that I've seen probably 5 times, and it surprises me that I've seen it that many times. You know what I'm saying? You ever do that?
Yeah.
You're surprised that you watch a movie, because somehow you enjoy it, even though it's something that, like, I don't know about you guys, but I like shit that I can kind of zone out on and have a good time with. And that was a movie that made me think. So I don't, it's not usually my deal. You know what I mean? So that's one that I really thought in the last whatever years that was, I think may at one point be considered a classic. So
I hope so. That was a great movie, in my opinion. I was like, that's everything this should be. It was the old school fucking, similar to a John Carpenter film when it comes to the scope of the movie, the original, like, playing with rules, like a sexually transmitted monster movie. Like, fuck, like the characters and you don't know what era it takes place in. The fact that it tried to genuinely be scary, the old school score they went to this video game music composer, and he was like, oh, cool, I'd love to try to do something like this, and just completely brought a different sound and feel to a horror movie. Like, I don't know. See, it's the creativity like that I yearn for in the genre now. Like, I want to see more of that. Like, let's experiment a little bit. We may fail, but fuck, it's better than going back to the well or Halloween for the fucking 50th time. Like,
right.
Fuck, how many times can you go to that well and people go, oh, well, it was better than the last Rob Zombie one. I don't know about you, man. There was no white horse in it. That's your bar? If that's your fucking bar, you need to limbo the fuck out. Like, that's bullshit.
Did you check out that Spanish one I told you about? It's like a Twilight Zone episode rolled into one.
What was the name of it?
The one I said the guy looks just like you. Like the long hair.
Well, I forget the name of it, bro. Send me
I gotta find
it if you can. I forget. I didn't check it out though.
That was good. That was really good. And that was newer too. I'll find. I'll get back to you.
In Zetro, I trust. But Jeff, what's your next topic, brother?
All right, American Horror Story.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you ready? I have tried so fucking hard to get into that show. So hard for years, from the beginning on. It literally starts out every season. Every fucking season starts first 3 episodes. Oh, I'm on board, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5. It's just like the fucking they fired all the writers and go, hey, we're just gonna hire all these fucking new writers. Come up with the craziest shit you possibly can fucking put it in a fucking TV show. And fuck, God, I got so mad. Like I have tried so hard to like the show, and everyone is so fucking gung ho. Like American Horror Story is so great. I like that. Blah 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 blah. It's like a fucking oh Jesus Christ, man! It pisses me off because the writing in the beginning, like it gets you, it hooks you. Then they just fucking. It's like throwing the fucking ball in the like playing baseball, throwing the ball into the fucking stands instead of throwing it down the fucking
Right.
down the middle. It just fucking angers me. Like the Freaks one was the last one I really got invested in, and I watched it and I cut it off because I'm like this is it just gets stupid. Like it would have been a great premise, great fucking story. Like even the Roanoke kind of like I watched here and there, and I just stopped because it got stupid.
Looks like
Then there's shows like fucking Stan versus Evil and
yeah.
fucking Ash versus Evil Dead. They got fucking tanked and fucking booted off TV after 2 or 3 seasons because no one watches it. But fucking American Horror Stories on what, like season 9 or 10 now?
Yeah.
It pisses me off. Like I'd rather watch fucking Ash versus Evil Dead fucking constantly and fucking recycling that shit. I'd rather watch that than American Horror Story any day of the week.
Well, I think it's like Walking Dead. I think
Yeah.
they're trying to. I think they should cut these seasons down to like 6, 7 episodes because I think they're trying to fill in too much shit. That's a lot, an hour, 13 1-hour long episodes. It's a lot of shit you got to fill in.
Right.
So it's like a lot of fodder, a lot of filler, all that shit. So because I watched the first couple seasons of that, and I watched. I think I missed probably 2 or 3 of them. The slasher one. What was the slash?
1984. 1984.
That was really good for like, if they would have just cut out 2 or 3 episodes, because it starts getting like, come on already, like you're trying to fill in or just make the episode short, like you were saying, Ash versus Evil Dead. That's 22 minutes right there of fucking fun, right? I don't care if it's 13 episodes. It's nice because it's quick. You get in, you get out. But those hour-long ones, it's like they just do like they do in the UK. 6-episode series, and we'll come back to you in a year, and maybe we'll renew it for another 6 seasons.
Yeah. Right.
Episodes, I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah, like Trenchy was saying, you see shows like Constantine get canceled. I don't know if you guys watched Constantine. That was a pretty good show. 12 Monkeys. I don't know if you consider that horror. Have you guys ever watched the 12 Monkeys show? That's a fucking hell of a show right there. If you guys are into that kind of shit, I love the movie. So, but the TV show is really, really good too. And I watched the first season of American Horror Story, and I thought it was okay. But just like Jeff said, then I start, you get 2 episodes in and go, I don't even like this anymore. Why am I doing this? You know what I mean? So that's how I felt too. Walking Dead, same way. And I think what happens is it kind of goes back to what we were talking about before. These people who aren't necessarily really horror fans get in on it, and then it just blows up into something that I don't think they necessarily intended it to be in the first place. And then of course, you get to all those people watching. So they just, they keep pumping them out. You know what I'm saying? They keep pumping them out to make the money. So it's kind of a catch-22, right? You want to see some horror movie shows or TV shows, but then, when all that shit happens, it's like, goes downhill. So I love to see the horror get out there and get on TV, but I don't know. What do you think about this Child's Play shit?
No.
Make of that. He's like, no. At least they're bringing back the old Chucky, right?
They are, yeah.
I mean, the doll, that fucking new shit. I was like, what the fuck is that?
I like that though. I thought that was kind of different. Yeah, I didn't see it weird. But
no, that's all right, man.
I
couldn't get past it. I couldn't get past it. You know what I mean? I just kept looking at him going, is that Chucky's like weird cousin? I don't even know.
He was kind of cute though, wasn't he?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I never got through enough of the movie. I couldn't stop watching that son of a bitch.
Aubrey Plaza.
And I love some Aubrey Plaza, man. I love Aubrey Plaza.
But it's like another series. I'm like another series. You don't have no idea how happy I was when I heard that Walking Dead was being canceled or done or whatever. I'm like, oh, good, thank God.
Yeah, maybe they can move on to something else.
And but then they're like, well, it's going to break it up into like season 10A and season 10B, and there's like 24 episodes. Fuck! I thought I was out. And all the spin-offs.
You've seen The Walking Dead, but you have not seen Fear the Walking Dead. Like,
right, the spin-offs don't even. No.
they need to.
Dawn of the Walking Dead.
Day, dawn, night, diary,
Right,
all
right.
this shit of the
It's
fucking.
another fun concept that got ran into the ground. Like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
else.
like, yeah.
A little hope with what we do in the shadows, though.
Yeah.
And
That's
hands
great.
down, that fucking.
I
I
love
watched
that
the
show.
preview. Like I've watched the preview like 3 or 4 times now, and I fucking bust out laughing every time I watch the preview for the new
Yeah.
season.
That's a great show.
So, yeah.
I
But
don't
once
know
again,
anything about
half
that.
hour.
Yep.
Right.
Get in, get
Yeah,
out.
no, like to me, the whole thing American Horror Story, I'll never forget when that show debuted. And I remember we were out somewhere, we were getting lunch. This was like in school days at some point. I remember this girl I knew from high school. She came up to me. She's like, "Hey," she's like, "You're the biggest horror guy, right?" I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Have you seen American Horror Story?" Like rosy fucking cheeks and excited and like, bro, I just completely just shit on her mood. I was like, bro, I was like, this is God. I was like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, no. Like she was like, but it's great and Jessica Lange and you know, I'm like, listen, like no offense. And I said, no offense. I said, but do you ever really like horror movies or anything before this? And she's like,
Right.
well, no. I'm like, what did you like?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
oh,
fine.
Disney movies and The Notebook. And I'm like,
No.
I'm like, okay, so those things draw to you, and then American Horror Story draw to you. What am I missing? I feel like it's very much more marketed, not towards diehard horror fans like us. I feel like that show's marketed towards the mainstream going audience, whether it be the shows that were on at that time, whether it be fucking, you know, like House or Lost, or I don't know the exact rundown of what was on when that show came out, but it's more marketed towards a mainstream going audience that aren't diehards like us. I think the diehard fan, it's just like, nah, like I've seen better than this, and trust me, like I wanted to get behind it. I was like, cool, something new on horror television every week.
Right.
I would love to embrace this. And I watched the first season. I was like, unless I'm fucking missing something, this is not my cup of tea. Like this is not like anything I would ever get into personally. Like as for Evil Dead, totally. I remember the show. It was short lived. Got canceled after one season. Called Blood Drive, where it was these people that were going on a cross country race, and the only way they could fuel their cars was with blood. And it was fucking great. It was a tribute to exploitation movies. And every episode was, this is a tribute to the cannibal exploitation movie. This is the tribute to, the Asylum. Like, really cool. And it just didn't last because that's more marketed towards us. And for whatever reason, I think when you market towards the mainstream, you have a much better chance of getting watched every week and getting those ratings up and ordering however many fucking seasons, whether it be 10 seasons of The Walking Dead or, American Horror Story or whatever. It's how much bullshit, how long can we keep up this fucking charade? And the answer is still fucking forever, to be honest, until people are finally wise up and are like, all right, I'm good. Like I realize now 10 years later that this is bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, it makes you miss shit like Tales from the Crypt or, Masters of Horror, Twilight Zone, all those things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Masters of Horror would never draw to a mainstream audience because it was like every week the gimmick was, holy shit, what's Takashi Miike going to do? Holy shit.
Think about it. Didn't they do Fear This or whatever that
Fear
was?
Fear
Itself. You know what I mean? Isn't that what they tried to do? Put it on regular TV,
but it doesn't work on regular TV because you need to be R-rated with horror.
Right.
Like you can't have people fucking being PG-13 and show no gore and show no violence when it's like, and then you have Takashi Miike direct something. And it's just like, dude, this is like X-rated. Like there's it's apples and oranges. I do know that there's a bigger audience for, that oh cool, the whole family can watch this. I don't want to watch with the whole family. I want to watch some crazy Takashi Miike shit, man. I want to be fucking mind blown. But that's just me, and I think that the audience like that, it's much smaller than that wide demographic that probably gets into American Horror Story. Like no disrespect to anybody who likes it. I just completely was like, no, this is not for me. I tried. I gave it the first season. I watched it all the way through, and I went. Nah.
Well, I mean, I guess I would rather someone who's not really into horror watch something like that to expose them to it than to not do anything at all. But it's not something I'm willing to spend my time on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Like
I'd rather fucking sandpaper my balls, but whatever.
No, I'll stick with old school Twilight Zone, Tales from the Dark Side, all that shit. I'll stick with that all day long, personally.
Yeah, I agree.
That
I still have no clue what that episode was.
Oh my God, yeah, we were talking about that. That was, and it leads into one of my next topics because I wanted to talk about this. We talked before about movies that scared us. Let's talk about some certain horror episodes of TV shows that absolutely scared the balls off of you.
Well, see if anyone knows it. I mean, either two. So I remember watching the shit as a kid, and all I remember was a mausoleum. These parents took their dead son, brought him back home, put him in a room, hired a babysitter. The babysitter walked in the room. She screamed, and then like they closed the door, and that was the end. And I swear it was Tales from the Dark Side or Twilight, like the '80s version of the Twilight Zone. But I've looked through all those episodes and I can't find it. And I'm like,
that sounds very Tales from the Crypt to me, but I can't. It doesn't ring a bell on me.
It's like nothing's popped up. Like the show Monsters. Like I've gone through all the shows and I can't remember. I remember watching it like on Saturday when I was like midday, like 6 o'clock in the afternoon, seeing it on TV. And I don't remember what it was. I just remember like, it sparked that interest in what mausoleums were, and like it was like a fucking. I remember it was like a little stone one with a little wooden door. They took the body out and brought him back and stood him in a chair, and they let the babysitter go in there, and she just fucking blood curdling scream, and the door closed, and that was it.
It definitely sounds like it's got an 80s vibe, like post 70s, I don't know. I don't know. It does sound like, and it sounds really familiar, but I can't think of what that's from either. But I'm guessing it's one of the, Tales from the Dark Side or even the 80s Twilight Zone, like you were saying. I would look there. That sounds what it would be to me. But
maybe some one-off like series that only lasted a season that I thought was one of those, and it was this show. That shit, didn't you post that a while ago asking about that?
I did, because it bugs the shit out of me that I can't find it or I remember
it immediately rang a bell to me. I was like, that I've totally seen that, and I looked and looked and looked. And I couldn't. Right. I was convinced it was a Tales from the Crypt, but I don't think it was because I couldn't find. At least I couldn't find like a synopsis that was close to that. So I was like, fuck. Like unless I went back and watched all the episodes, I don't know. If I ever do find it out, Jeff, I'm gonna let you know.
Please let me know. I want to watch it. And I want to remember if it was as good as it was when I was a kid. So.
What was the Nickelodeon horror show? What was that called? That they just brought back?
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Are You Afraid of? I just bought that on Vudu, and I haven't watched any. Yeah, I haven't watched any of them, but people loved them, so I thought I'd go check it out. But my stack that I haven't seen yet is so tall, it's not even fun. I really like. I think the best, and I'm not a Twilight Zone guy like you are, John, like the old shit. But I think the best to me, and I'm a carpenter, Mark, is cigarette burns, man. I love cigarette burns, dude. La Femme Absolue du Monde. I just love that shit. It also has Norman Reedus in it. I think that's a classic, man. I think that
fucking Udo
it's the
Kier.
best. It's the best fucking thing Carpenter's done in how long? You know what I mean? So unless you're the Ward fan, which I'm not. But
yeah, no, I love that scene in that where Udo Kier was like putting his fucking intestines into the
yeah. Oh my God, yes.
Being like, fuck. I was like, Udo, what the fuck are you doing, Udo? And I love like the opening scene of that where he's talking to Reedus and he's like, absolute demand.
Oh yeah,
Udo, fucking Kier, motherfuckers. I love Udo, man. Anything with him, I just mark the fuck out. And just how gory that fucking episode is, and like the whole talking about. The premiere was so crazy. Everyone died since they saw this at the premiere. The theater burned down, and I was like, "Dude, this is absolutely fantastic." That's a really good choice, actually. It
reminded me of Popcorn. Remember the movie Popcorn? You know what I mean? It had that kind of vibe to it. You know what I mean? And the stories are very similar, but yeah. I'm a big Popcorn mark. So
I love Popcorn. That's a great one. How about you, AJ? What's a horror TV show that scared the shit out of you?
Well, there was only one. It was that episode of Tales from the Dark Side with that Savini directed with the little monster with the red eyes.
The Savini one inside the closet.
Yeah, that scared the shit out of me. I'm trying to describe it. I was like, I think I probably had to walk away from it because already I'm traumatized with the intro song. We talked about that before in the past. The first time I put that on, I'm like, I'm going the other room.
I don't like this at all.
Dark side. So, but yeah, that episode scared the shit out of me, man. And then the ending was like, kind of weird, but just that monster in general. Because I was 9 when that came out. that episode. That's probably the only one I can really think of.
That's a well-directed episode too. Like Savini does a really good job at like creating the tension, and then that creature is such a payoff. It's such a scary fucking creature design. It looks like it's been starved or something. It has those like glowing red eyes and shit.
Yeah.
I always remember the one too with Jerry Stiller, and he's on the radio, and he's slowly becoming the devil because like he's like, calling out all these people and shit like that. And he's the devil's advocate, and he slowly starts becoming. The makeup on his face for that was like,
see,
wow.
I got to get into more of those because I only watched certain ones here and there because it was like, it just, that intro music is scared as shit. I'm like, I'll just put on Johnny Carson.
Well, if that's the case, I'll recommend one that scared me. Fucking The Last Car. Tales from the Dark Side, The Last Car. It's this great episode. This girl she's on her way home from school from Thanksgiving break, and the train rolls up, and she gets in this last car. There's like old woman, an old man, and this little kid in this cart. And basically it's like the train that leads to nowhere. She can't get off. She can't get thrown off. She can't switch cars. And every time they hit a tunnel, like all this spooky shit happens. And I remember when I first saw that as a kid, man, I was scared shitless. And to this day, I'm scared to get on a night train home. Like, like when I was working in the city, I was like, when I would get on the train home, like really late, I'm talking like 4:07 a.m. trains. Like getting on and just the people in New York City, they call them the vomit comet because it's always like drunk people just fucking, trying to get home, and they fucking vomit all over the fucking place. Vomit comet. And dude, I would just always be so scared. I was like, dude, if I ever see like 2 elderly people and a kid, I'm not staying in that car. No way. And the tunnel scares me. Like to this day, it scares me to get on a train. Like
I think I'd be scared of that, and I've never seen that episode.
Yeah, right.
Elderly people and a kid at 4:00 in the morning on a train. No,
yeah, no, that's terrifying. And then Twilight Zone, there's a ton of them that like. To me, one of the scariest ones is with Telly Savalas and his daughter. She brings home this doll. It's called Talkie Tina. Like you pull the string and it talks. And basically, he's just a douchebag father. He's get out of your fucking room and all this shit. And basically, the doll, he pulls it one day and it goes, "I don't like how you talk to her." And he's like, "What?" And he thinks that they're all playing a rouge on him. And if basically the doll's alive, and I'm talking Tina, don't make me kill you. And one day he throws the doll out in frustration, and the doll keeps popping up around the house and trying to kill him. And fuck, man, it scared me so bad. Just because Telly Savalas is at the first half, he's like he doesn't believe it, and when he finally believes it, his performance is, fantastic. You just you're terrified with him. You're like, bro, get out of that house and all me. Like this doll wants blood, man. Like I don't know. I just absolutely that one always scared the shit out of me. Like stay away from dolls.
The Simpsons ruined that episode. You ever see that with Krusty the Clown?
Yeah.
I'm Krusty the Clown.
Ruined a lot of stuff for people for sure. I know that for a fact.
It's the Krusty. That was great.
Dude, no, yeah.
How about Amazing Stories?
Oh wow!
Disney did fucking Amazing Stories. That fucking Jamaica one that had the duppy. Like the kid was bad. The duppy was going to come and get him. And it was a fucking little lizard creature. Fuck, man, that terrified the shit out of me too.
I never watched those as a kid. No.
Disney, Disney in the late '80s was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
but, yeah. Amazing Stories was always one because it had like a weird kind of Twilight Zone vibe to it.
Okay.
To all their episodes. But,
was that Spielberg?
It might have been Spielberg.
It sounds familiar. I think so. I think he produced it or something, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I was just
Those I definitely haven't seen enough of. I
got to go back.
With TV horror too. I always remember watching this TV movie. It would come on every now and again. It was the sequel, the Trilogy of Terror. Now I love the first Trilogy of Terror. That's a great.
Yeah.
I love Karen Black. Love that movie. The sequel, the second one, there was a segment in it that I actually had a hard time watching. It was called Bobby, and it was about this kid. He died in like a drowning accident in the ocean, and the mother, she like conjures up this black magic to bring the son back. And the son comes back, and it's like at first it's, oh, I love you, mom, and then he's like a demon, and like he just tries to fuck with her, and they play hide and seek, and he's trying to kill her. Fucking to this day, it's like one of the hardest things for me to watch. It just scares the shit out of me. Like this kid trying to kill his mom. I was just like, oh my god, like terrified of it, man. I don't know, it's shit that scared me as a kid.
I got to see that.
It's great. It's on Blu-ray from Kino. Was
it called the Quadrilogy of Terror?
No, it was.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no. Good one though. Highly recommend. It's a sequel nobody talks about, but I don't know. I always like that one.
Hey, that movie I was telling you about, it's on Shudder. It's called I don't know if you can see it. The Similars.
The Similars. Okay.
Similars.
And you're telling me I'm in that? I look alike of me.
I sent you the picture. He's got the glasses, got like your face. He's got long hair. But the story's cool. It's in black and white. It's in Spanish, and it's from 2016. It takes place in 1968. You guys just check it out. It's really cool.
I didn't know the Amish spoke Spanish.
One more month of being Amish. Only one more month.
I'm just kidding. Just fucking.
But yeah, check it out if you can, because it's really good. It's just like because Will from Cabinet of Dr. Howdy, my buddy, he suggested he's a big Twilight Zone guy, and he said it's like 3 or 4 episodes of the Twilight Zone rolled into it. Like I'm not a super expert on Twilight Zone, but I think you'd like it. I think all you guys would like it. It's really cool.
Gets good ratings on IMDb.
Yeah, it's something different, you know.
Yeah. Cool.
No, definitely. I'll definitely give that a watch. Does anybody else have any other topics you want to talk about? I think we've all done too. I'm down I'll talk all night. This is great. I'm enjoying a lot of this.
Have you guys ever seen the movie The Crimson Rivers?
I haven't.
It's got Jean Reno. It's like the French Silence of the Lambs.
Ooh.
You really got to check it out. This is what it looks like. And it's also got Vincent Cassel in it, that fucking weirdo. If you guys can see that. But I'm telling you what, it's gory as fuck. Way more gory than Silence of the Lambs. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I mean, it's old too. I mean, it's from the early 2000s. But I do you guys consider Silence of the Lambs horror, or do you consider it thriller, or can you?
I consider it horror.
All the above.
Okay, yeah. If you consider that horror, this is even more horror than that. So
really,
it's incredible. Watch it, you'll love it, and you'll send me $5. I guarantee.
I love Silence of the Lambs, so
yeah. See, I'm a big, Hannibal, Silence of the Lambs guy too. So it's definitely on that kind of level there. So I think it's great. I think it should be a classic in my opinion, and it's not. That's why I thought I'd bring it up to you guys. Thought you might dig it.
Hell yeah, I'll check it out.
Totally. But did anybody else have anything else you wanted any topics on here?
I think that a lot of the other ones I had, we kind of just touched on. You know, in speaking about the other stuff. So I don't think so, really. I mean, I was kind of wondering, one thing is like, what do you think about like movies like shocking movies? Are they made for shock value? Do they have any place in horror in general, like movies like Serbian Film or Necromantic and shit like that? Like where do movies like that fall in, like in the universe? Are they should they be? Should they not be? I mean, I'm not into censorship, to each his own, but still, I mean,
I think some of them are like horror pornography. Like it's just like, how can the whole goal is to set out and shock and to start like the gore vomit dolls and shit. Like to me, that's horror pornography. Like I don't enjoy that. But I will say, like, I do think, and people, even the hat you're wearing, people would consider that one of those movies.
Yeah.
But I don't think I think Cannibal Holocaust is like a horror masterpiece. I really do, because I think the thing behind it is, while it does have all that shocking content in it, and a lot of people, they're like, dude, that's fucked up, and I get it. But I think the whole thing, Cannibal Holocaust, is the message of, who are the savages, who are the cannibals, and it's us. And I love that Diodato quote: "People want sensationalism. They want, the more you rape their senses, they love it." It's almost like a commentary on, those type of people that enjoy those type of movies, and I don't know, there's some truth to it. I definitely think there's some truth to it. I think certain movies, yes, certain movies, no. Like, personally, gore vomit, no, that's fucking, I don't know. And then there are certain, like, snuff films, no. But at the same time, you look at something like Faces of Death, and I almost feel like Faces of Death, because it's aged so poorly, it almost has a charm to it now. Like, when people like my Uncle Richie, I remember he saw that and he's like, he really believed they were eating a monkey's brain. Like, they were like, he was like freaked out, and then now he'll watch it and he'll be like, man, I don't know why I thought that, but I totally bought it.
Yeah, like, so, the guy getting attacked by the bear, but there was like 7 different angles. You know what I mean? Like, how that happened? You know what I mean?
That wasn't stock footage, Right. But yeah, I honestly think there's some of it that does have its place, like Cannibal Holocaust, but I don't. There's some of it I don't condone. It's just not my cup of tea. Like, I know that there are people that their idea is how extreme, but sometimes it's just like, enjoying gore is one thing, but it's just to the extent of, how far do you want to go with that? I don't know. I think there's definitely just a line that certain people cross, certain films cross, and I don't really cross that line very often.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like you. I'm not about censorship at all, but scenes where you're raping babies and like Serbian film, you know what I mean? I don't, I just don't understand how that can be titillating to someone. I mean, there's a big difference between fucking Hostel and a Serbian film, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. I guess it's that scene I really have a problem with. You know what I mean? Not necessarily the rest of the film, but that scene is something that really, to me, it's I don't know, man. It's deplorable, I think, and but I don't have to watch it. You know what I mean? I think that's a line that shouldn't be crossed. That's just how I feel. Everything else, man. I mean, I'm not a big gore guy. You know what I mean? I'm not. I watched Faces of Death. I watched fucking Traces of Death and Spaces of Death, and I watched all that shit. But it's not really my cup of tea. I mean, you know what I mean? It just freaks me out a little bit. But knowing, finding out later on that Faces of Death wasn't real, I was like, oh wow, okay,
yes, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have that shit on my conscience anymore. You know what I mean? So, but I watched all that stuff, but I don't know, man, it just made me feel weird. But that Serbian film thing, it bothers me. I got to be honest with you. The rest of it's fine, but that scene bothered me.
I think the older you get, like all those Face of Death and Trace of Death, I think the older you get, the more it's like, oh, shit, I'm getting older over here. Like, I don't want to hear about real people dying and shit. Like,
I'm too close myself.
Right. Like, I don't want to see morgues and shit like that because, I ain't getting any younger.
Right.
Right,
let's throw on the Avengers.
Yeah. Right.
What about you, Jeff?
Serbian film, man. I don't know. I have a line. Pedophilia is my line. Like, rape scenes, extreme gore. I can stomach and deal with, but especially as being like a father to little kids. Like, that completely fucking changed everything in me.
Yep.
And it makes me like it's I don't like pedophiles. Like, and I don't take kindly to pedophiles and people that use that kind of platform to push that thing. Like, what was that horrible show that was on Netflix that pushed like 7 and 8-year-old girls dancing around and shit like that?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It came out a couple months ago or a year ago or whatever. Yeah. Like, that kind of shit is fucked up. Like, and granted, it's part of the times. Like, you fucking watch TikTok or fucking go on Instagram and go on Reels and shit like that. I don't know. I'm like I said before. I'm an old man, and that shit it doesn't fly with me. Like, I can watch a girl get her head hammered in The brain splattered across the floor.
Right.
I'm like, oh yeah, all right, no problem. But yeah, pedophilia, man, I don't like that shit. Like I can't stomach it. I can't
Rationalize it.
I remember being when I was a teenager going to fucking rotten.com and like steakandcheese.com.
Oh shit, rotten.com. Holy
like
shit. I
like the
love
people
that.
get fucking run over by a train, like legit. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. All right,
Dude, you
all
just
right.
blew my fucking mind, man. I used to get on that shit, look at a picture, and get off it real fast.
Yeah,
I did.
And like you didn't know what it was. It had like it wasn't even, like before thumbnails. Like it had like a number, then JPEG. Then it said like train accident, and you clicked on it. And like you had no clue what the fuck you were getting into.
Wow,
oh my God,
that's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I can't say I've ever ventured down rotten.com.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, industrial
man.
accidents, all kind of crazy shit, John. It was fucking gnarly, dude. Like, it would make me feel weird for like a week seeing one picture on that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
The fucking jar video. That one always fuck with me too. The dude that sat on the jar and it fucking broke inside him. Oh,
yeah. I
that
remember.
one made me so fucking like, oh my God.
I don't know if I ever saw it, but I think I heard about that. Oh my God.
It was terrible. It was fucking horrible.
2 Girls, 1 Cup? No, that's a different one.
Okay, hold on.
Uh-oh.
I'd rather watch the entirety of 2 Girls and 1 Cup than the fucking all-female cast of Ghostbusters. Just saying that.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, I like that one too. I ain't gonna lie.
See,
Just shitting on you, huh, AJ?
No, Kirsten just sat there when we were like first started dating. I'm like, it's a fucking horrible movie. I can't fucking watch it. And she goes, because you've never even seen it. And I'm like, yeah. So I watched it. And I'm like, no, I can't do it. I watched the whole thing, and I'm like, I can't get behind it. But yet my dumbass is going like, I can't wait for the new one. This new one's going to be fucking great. Then I'm like, I know I'm going to be disappointed when I watch that.
Oh, yeah.
I know when it comes out, I'm going to be like, oh, fuck. It's just Stranger Things with Ghostbusters.
Yep.
And wait,
yes, that's exactly what it was.
And Halloween 6.
Yep.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
That trail, I was like, dude, go. And they were like, oh, but Bill Murray. I was like, dude, fuck you. Don't. Stop. Like Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2. Stop with this.
Replay the original. That's what I do.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
That little tiny bit in here is like, I kind of want to see it. I'm a little bit excited for it. But then that reality in your body, you're like, fuck,
ain't gonna work. Yeah. Well, like the Evil Dead remake or whatever you want to call it, I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
But when I heard news that they're going to put the original on the theater out in the theaters again for the 40th anniversary, I got 2 tickets. I'm going to see it in it. The fucking tickets aren't cheap either. They're like regular price theater tickets. I got the DVD, I got the Blu-ray, but
got to go see it.
Got to go see it on the screen. Yeah, I saw Halloween a couple years ago. Saw the Birdcage. Not long ago.
I mean the Birdcage too.
Are we talking about Are we talking about the Robin Williams?
Yeah.
Birdcage? Oh, okay.
My wife's favorite movie. So.
I got you.
And Grande.
Love the Birdcage. Absolutely love the Birdcage.
But I'd rather do it. I'd rather go to the theater and just watch the old one. And trying to like relive something or rejuvenate something or whatever the hell something. So
I was gonna ask you guys a question of what you guys thought, Jeff and AJ. What would you think would be the best night of Grande movie marathon? I was thinking the Birdcage, Hocus Pocus, and the Lighthouse. How's that? Does that sound like a good night to you?
Jeez.
Or Mirror. Or Mirror.
Oh, fucking Andre Tarkovsky? You're going Tarkovsky with fucking Hocus Pocus?
Wait a minute. Now, did that movie make sense to you? Because you're going to have to write some shit down for me about what that fucking movie was about.
Mirror?
Yeah. I've never ever
masterpiece.
seen a review on that movie where anybody ever told me or explained to me what that motherfucker was about. You know what they all say? The cinematography is amazing.
By the Criterion, everybody. Even though they fucking changed the color grading on that shit, which is weird, but no, that movie fucking floored me.
Dude, I'm just fucking with you, John.
It's like
you don't have to explain it, brother. I'm just giving you a hard time. Dude.
Fair enough.
John's a big Hocus Pocus guy. You guys like Hocus Pocus? Now, wait a minute. I'm going to be the only motherfucker who don't like Hocus Pocus, right?
Yeah.
You don't like it either, or you do?
No, I love it. It's what I grew up on, man.
No, I'm not. Listen, I don't blame you guys at all. I just can't get into it. But you know what? I was older.
The second one.
I was older.
Fuck that. They're making
Fuck, Bill. I ain't seen the second one. They can kiss my ass. I'm not watching it.
Well,
fucking Kathy and Jimmy going to every fucking promotion and that fucking and those other two bitches, Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker. Let me fucking do another shitty Sex in the City. Fucking fuck that. I hate those.
Part two?
Yeah, they're making part
two.
I didn't know that either.
Sarah Jessica Parker's in it.
I think I did hear about that. Well, it can't be a Grande movie now without Sleepaway Camp 3. I mean, what the shit?
Yes!
That's true. You're right.
These two back-to-back would be fun.
You know my feelings on April Fool's Day.
That's true. Yeah, you don't like April Fool's Day.
Lie to me like that?
Yeah.
Fake movie.
What about Best Final Girl? Anybody? John, you know who mine is.
Yes, I do. I've also met her.
Yeah, I have too.
I know AJ knows my love for Amy Steele.
I'd put Amy Steele up there for sure.
She's my favorite.
Yeah.
Such a sweetheart. Still a beautiful lady, too.
Yeah, no, she doesn't age a day. She's like 60-something.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? And her daughter's older than me. I was like, dude, your daughter's beautiful. Like, it looks like a younger version of her. I was like, fuck, man, this is like, can I pay her $40 for a picture? Like, fuck.
John's like, Minaj?
I would take a picture with the Steels. That would be cool. I'll say
well, you should have snuck in there and been like, hey, I'm gonna start calling you mom now. There you go.
Hey, you want to wear this sweater? I'll come in with a bag over my head and a fucking nice. Be like, yo, what's up? I don't know. I'm trying to think of good. Like, I love Ned Campbell. You know, somebody who I've recently, like, I don't know why, but I've gotten into is Agnes Bruckner. I love, like, she didn't do that many great movies, but I don't know, something about her I really like. The Woods, fucking Kill Theory, fucking Venom. I like Agnes Bruckner a lot. I think she's underrated as fuck.
Barbara Crampton.
Yes, I gotta love Babs.
Yeah.
Barbara Crampton's
all the fucking From Beyond, fucking Reanimator. Like,
I'd like to meet her too. She seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
She seems cool as shit. I'd love to meet Barbara Crampton.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's about the convention thing again. I don't think I've ever had a bad experience with anybody. Everyone seems really nice, really cool. There's been a couple that are like, you know, they're kind of nothing, but not dicks or anything. But for the most part, I mean, I heard stories about Tom Savini, but we know how that goes.
Yeah.
You know who's a Looney Tune? Linda fucking Blair.
Oh,
Yeah.
Whoa, she's a weirdo.
She is.
Sorry, Linda. I know you're watching.
Wish.
She was very, very sweet, but man, you start talking about if you get her talking about animals and stuff.
Yeah, man, it got creepy real quick, didn't it?
Yeah,
it got creepy. Yeah,
I mean, she was sweet though. She was really nice.
Oh, she was a bitch where I was. She I was Kane Hodder was right next to her, and I was in line, or I don't even know if I might have been talking, and she started yelling at her handler. And people, everybody in the whole fucking room just kind of turned around and looked. Yeah, it was surreal. I thought her head was going to spin around.
With pea soup in his fucking face.
Right.
That'd be great.
I never had
one. I got one. This would be a fun one to end it on. Favorite horror possession in your collection? Could
I'm
be
going to say
anything.
Reagan in The Exorcist. Oh, that's not what you mean?
No.
Oh. Man.
Hold on.
I'm
Wait,
just
wait.
full of it tonight.
I'll be right
Sure.
back.
Sure.
I'll be. He just said it. He just said, "I'll be right back." He's dead. Nice knowing you, brother.
Those are the rules. He's getting another
we-
beer from Drink Beer and Watch Horror.
Yeah.
You know what? We went over this question on that podcast I just did.
Oh, really?
Exact same question. I'm going to have the exact. I was trying to think because I don't have like a lot of expensive, rare shit, you know. But this, oddly enough,
Oh, fuck yes.
Yes.
Is that still in the plastic?
No. It's just shiny.
Damn.
But,
It's just shiny.
This was a gift from my buddy who's passed away, and it means a lot to me because it was from him, and it's got the Red Cross thing.
Yeah, went out. They took that off the shelves real quick, didn't they?
Well, he when he bought it, by the time he gave it to me, I think it was Christmas. He's like, dude, it's already going online for like tons of money because they yanked it off the shelf right away. I'm like,
Best Buy exclusive, right?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
With
cool.
the fourth DVD. So that'd be my most prized one, not because of just what it is, but who it was from. So that'd be mine.
Awesome. That's very cool.
I have a couple.
Yeah.
I have the Silent Madness in 3D original poster, and I have a Friday the 13th Part 2 original, and I have a Madman, and John knows that I'm a big Madman mark, and I have an original Madman too. So is
it the Madman with the cartoon couple on it?
No, it's not. It's not the rare one. No,
Bro, that one goes.
I know, right?
Red. I want it
Crazy.
so bad.
Yeah,
but
I do too. I've seen it at conventions and stuff. And yeah, it upwards of $1,000 from fucking Madman poster.
Sell my car, like
I'm like, I'll draw my own, thanks.
yeah, I'll
Is it made of platinum?
Right. Is it signed by Alexis Dubin?
Nope. Imagine how much money it is. She signed it.
Yeah, can you imagine how much that'd be worth? What do you got, Jeff?
So, like I said before, like when I did the shoot the shit with from Andre Gower.
Oh shit!
That motherfucker almost died this year. He had a really bad heart attack.
Oh really?
Bro, I was so sad when I saw that shit.
And like he's coming to Louisville in October, I think, with like half the cast from Monster Squad. So I'm gonna try to fucking sneak in and have a beer with him there. But just the fact that he was one of the nicest fucking people, like straight up. When I was starting to do the shoot the shit thing, the dude that played Rusty, what the fuck's his name? From National Lampoons, he was in Night of the Creeps.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lively.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
He's a cool
Like
dude.
I got with him first. He was gonna be the first dude that I was gonna do the shoot the shit with. And he's like, oh, I love drinking beer and I love horror movies, blah blah blah. Then I'm like, hey, I'm give me your email so I can get everything set up and we'll go do this. And he fucking ghosted me, then blocked me on fucking Instagram. And I'm like,
shit.
what the fuck? So then Andre Gower fucking messaged, goes, let's do this. Let's have. And he fucking took the lead and fucking just talked. And he was super cool, super friendly. Like,
that's pretty neat.
And I still shoot the shit with him every once in a while on Instagram. And it's kind of one of those things. Like, I grew up with Monster Squad. Monster Squad was one of those movies I fucking absolutely love. I get my kid in it. He loves it now too. And it's one of those symbols of starting Drink Beer and Watch Horror. And it makes me, every time I look at it, I'm like fuck, I mean, this I'm gonna continue. Like, even though like I'm like, fuck, I got 40 hours, 50 hours of work and working in a kitchen and shit like that. I got to at least put some kind of effort into this and just continue and go. So, but that's mine for now.
That's fantastic.
What about you, Triple P? What do you got?
Oh, I could go grab it. Here, hold on.
Isn't that Sleepaway Camp 3 an original back there? An original movie store poster?
There's only I think 100 of those. got it
And he-
really cheap on eBay.
And he ain't grabbing that. What else could it be?
Well, if I would I'm looking for it. Hold on, it's got to find on the DVD rack of fuck here.
That's what she said. Oh,
What the heck is it?
it's, again, just stepping in it. Hey, have you guys seen the new movie with Richard Dreyfuss that's coming out where he plays a mafia guy and somebody hurts his daughter or whatever? He has to. It's like Better Call Saul. What's that dude's name? Have you seen that movie? Where he? Oh shit! You haven't seen the movie where he kills those guys on the bus. He's going. Oh fuck! Yes, you have. Nobody. It's called Nobody.
Oh, is that what that? Okay.
Dude, you haven't seen Nobody? Oh
No.
shit! You got to watch that. It's fucking awesome. Anyway, but yeah, he's an old mafia guy, and like somebody hurts his daughter or something, and he goes after him or whatever and kills them all. It's pretty cool. Richard, yeah, and he's what is he? 807 years old, and he's out there killing people.
Every single thing.
Killing them with his walker.
I'll be Michael Myers by the time they reach Halloween ends.
What do you got? What do you got, Johnny? What do you got?
Waited in line for crazy time for this. I've told this story once or twice.
Yeah,
this was easily my horror prize possession.
Oh shit!
Arrow signed this for me. One of the coolest nights of my life. I remember waiting online all night, and then when I got to him, he greeted me like I was the first person in line. It was just super nice, and I told him, I was like, dude, this is my favorite movie ever. And he was like, oh, it's so nice to hear that. He's like, it's humbling that all this. And he said, it's sometimes it's crazy, and just that 5-10 minute conversation I got to have with George Romero, that picture. And I remember asking him, dude, are you going to be at the Dawn of the Dead midnight screening later? He's like, bro, I'm shot. I'm going to bed. I remember he told me that. I'm going to bed. I'm old. I'm shot. And I was just like, dude, I just met one of my heroes. And he lived up to all the hype and signed this out-of-print Blu-ray that I couldn't imagine what this would sell for. But to me, it's priceless. And I think that's like the main thing with a horror possession item is just how much it means to the person. It's my favorite movie, signed by the director, and it's rare Blu-ray. I mean, I don't think it gets any better than this. And I have a lot of nice stuff, and definitely it's all, I love it all, but this one just a little extra something because it was really a humbling experience because I don't know, met one of my heroes, totally lived up to the hype.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Great.
Whew. But yeah, that's unless anybody else has anything else, I think that would be a fun thing to wrap on for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we could probably do this for a couple more hours, but I got to get
sure. We could do this thing. You have to go to work for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
But guys, I wanted to say thank you so much. This was such a fun show to do. I would love to do more of these in the future. I would love to do volume 2 and onward. This is a great time. I want to thank all of you, AJ, Jeff, Don. Thank you so much for coming on, shooting the shit with me. And this was a really, really fun show. I really appreciate you all coming on.
Yeah.
Always a blast. Thank you.
Sorry we didn't get to all the comments over there.
Oh, geez. Yeah, no, I didn't. So many. I was just like, oh, no.
Too much going on. Too much going on.
Like this. There's so much going on here that it's hard to, when it's just me, I can follow the comments pretty much the whole way. But I don't know. I definitely.
Well, we're very enthralling, the three of us.
Yeah. That's right. Can't pay attention to nothing else.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So thank you all. Death Central is here. Great time, guys. See you later. Thank you so much, Death Central, for checking out the show. Need More Gore. He was here. Love the show. Chars, dude, absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We will be back next week, and Ty Junebug Films will join me for his first time in the graveyard as we do a retrospective of Jaws, which I'm very fucking excited about. What a fun way to end this summer. What a fun way to end this summer. Or is better.
Orca. Come on. Dude,
Orca.
I've been fighting not saying Orca's better than Jaws tonight, all night.
You could have.
I was going to go tentacles, but...
No. Man,
but as you can see,
a broken ass leg bit off.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Like,
but she keeps her clothes on.
She does. But
Bolero.
I don't know. It hits you right in the feels. So
It does.
You
know, I
make me
saw
wanna
that at the
watch
drive-in.
Orca again, Jeff. I will tell you that.
lucky.
I want to watch Orca and Alligator as a double feature. That would be a fun fucking Jaws rip double feature. That'd be a fun time.
Day of the Animals too. Fucking Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah,
We'll
dude.
throw
go wrong on
Grizzly
that
in there
either.
too. Little William
Grizzly.
Girdler joint.
There you go. You need to do an animal horror movie.
There you go.
marathon.
Oh fuck!
You
Orca was
could
shot
talk.
in the Undead of Night's top province. Hell yeah! There you go.
There you go. All right. Hell yeah.
Where there's a will, there's an Orca fan. And so thank you everybody for joining. Thank you all for joining us in the chat. We will catch you next time only on the Graveyard. Too sweet, peace, and we'll catch you next time.